I apologize. I was not, and my mic wasn't on. Okay, so okay, so this is the deal. You guys know me. I kind of pull up and I'll do some like a short notice and something like that. And let you know what's going on, where we coming from with all of this here. I could always say this. Let me get this camera straightened out here. Um, let's go over here a little bit more. Maybe a little bit more this way. Okay. But I always say this, it's about you, your benefits, your money, your livelihood. Now, I want you to understand this. Okay, I am the Seattle Black veteran. I started off welcoming veterans, military. I want to welcome each and every one of you. If you know somebody who's in the military or you are active duty, retired, disabled, no matter what branch you are from, I'm pretty sure that we can address some things that you are probably actually dealing with. Okay, so let's keep it real on that point. And I want to get another thing out of the stratosphere is that I don't knock any content creator for what they do. All right, um, personal opinions are personal opinions. I don't care if you're out there, you're making your money, and this is your hustle. Hey, do your thing. Patreon, um, all the other ones that are out there. I'm telling you, I don't keep track of them, but my main purpose when I first started this channel off was getting people knowledgeable of what they are entitled to. You feel me? So if you have benefits, you need to know what your benefits are entitled to. What you are entitled to is your benefits. Let me tell you, some of us do not understand what our benefits are. And this is why I am hopeful Patty J is in the house. Hold on, let me get this cranked up here and give my girl some prop. Anybody, you guys, hit my girl Patty J. Give her some love. Well, I asked Patty a question before I came up on here, and that was if I had $1 million lottery, what would she do? And she told me, I'll let her disclose it if she wants to. Mine is, and she asked me, so I would have to get me that $300,000 or $400,000 home. I know spending half of my money near the waterfront, right? It's me. Okay, so you guys get the whole 411 about me, the algorithms and all that. So that is one of the things that I also not just get a fast Porsche, but just get a Porsche because I've always liked Porsche. I grew up off of Volkswagens when the 914 first came out. Well, I won't say first came out, but it was one of the things that was Porsche. But yeah, so that's the thing. Okay, so check it out. Okay, so this is what I want you guys. The only look here. People don't understand. I don't come up here unless I have something that I need for. Well, I would like for you to know. All right. And like I say, this is concerning your benefits. Um, we talk about benefits. I want you guys to understand when we talk about benefits, benefits equals money. Okay. And so we need you to be concerned about your health because it's no good getting all that and you cannot enjoy it. You feel me? So the thing is, okay, so we talked about it. My thing it was VR&E, the USO, and the DAV. Okay. So I'm gonna address some things that I'm gonna try to keep it less controversial. And what I wanted to do is keep it where you are able to make the wise decision on for yourself. Okay, first I want to talk about the USO. Okay, so if you, ladies and gentlemen, all connected personnel, when you're traveling out of the country or when you're traveling within the country, know that the USO is there to help you. Now, it's not, if any of you have experienced USO, and I would like to hear what your experiences was, or is, or how Okay. Because I'm going to be working over here and I'm going to be dealing with people at the SeaTac airport, Seattle Tacoma International Airport. And um, it's a voluntary of time. So are you fully aware of what the USO and how they can help you? I would like to hear you guys, ladies, uh, ladies or gentlemen, to hit me up and leave something in the comments. So if you're here, yeah, please subscribe, please like, and please come up and let's talk about these things because I'm gonna tell you, during my whole years being active duty, even when I was in the reserves, I have never used or never I wouldn't say used, I have never found out what the USO is about, how they can help you during your transition of flight, whether it's out of the country or in the country. Do you understand that COVID, if you're going to Japan, they still have strict, so traveling, need to know what it is that you need to um, in order to make sure that when you get to that particular country, that you don't have to go through unnecessary ordeals to keep you moving straight to your duty station. All right. Thing is very important too is while you're traveling, you make sure that you keep account of your military ID. If you do not, say if you misplace it, you're going to go through a lot of changes. All right. So be cognizant about that. If you're traveling with your family and you are a military personnel, um, um, understand what you can travel with, how you can travel, and always check with the USO, especially if you're going to have a long term layover. You hear me? If you come up from Washington State, you're in Seattle. We have I would say this in Washington State, we have one of the best um, transit communities up here. I mean, like when I was down in Southern California, and let's go around San Bernardino County. Uh, you don't have a lot of buses. You don't have no trains or any. It's very hard to get around. It would take you probably 3 or 4 hours to move within your county sometime, not here in Seattle. All right. Um, you can be say if you got a few hour layover, let's say if you got an 8 or 9 hour layover, coming to the USO here, if I'm talking with you, we're going to talk about places that you can see or visit during that layover time that can keep you, from being totally bored. At the USO and CTAC, I have to let you guys know this. And I'm learning, so I'm giving you from what I'm learning. You can have a 4 hour sleep. They have bunks there. You can have a wake up call. There's things like also, you can be fed because if you go to an airport, any airport, and you are looking to feed you, your family, and your kids, um, that can get you up to $100 to $200 if you're not careful out there in the airport. If you go to the USO and you are an active duty personnel and you're on orders to be moving to other places. Now, I want you to be aware of this as well. Some USOs do not accept retirees. You retired, they do not accept you. Currently, right now, and I don't want to put this all the way out there, you can probably stop at the USO at the SeaTac airport. I'm not saying it's 100%. Check it out because uh, you go some places and these personnel are getting moved around the country. I don't know what's up with this thing here. My Wi-Fi is slipping, but you have to be cognizant of that as well. All right. So I'm putting USO first because look, you can go in, kick back lazy boy chairs, watch a DVD, put a blanket over you, catch a power nap, and be about your way. All right. But understand each USO that you stop at or you stop into is that you are understanding what their rules and regulations are. Okay. Majority of them should be the same. There's a few different exceptions. All right. All right. So the USO, and as more I get into it, I will let you know. And that's why I say you can get where it's like some hotels, you get a continental breakfast. Breakfast, you can get that at the USO, and that's for free. All right, especially if you're active duty and you're moving about domestically or internationally. All right, there's certain rules and regulations that you need to be concerned about. And I would say it's each USO, you make sure, just like any place that you report to your duty station, you are cognizant of what you can and cannot do. All right. So I'm gonna get back with you more on that as well. All right. So VNRE, I'm always talking to you guys about that, and that's because I am constantly dealing with that. And I'm not seeing it as a negative. That is a positive. The VNRE wants me to get into a school. Um, it depends on what kind of school you are wanting to get into, whether they can even move you to another state. I'm not saying move you is going to pay for that. They will pay for your schooling and all that. Um, they will take in account that if you have to move, that it may take you some time to get into that. But the thing is that you need to put it in concrete that you are planning to do what it takes to get your education. Um, for me, I'm looking at an audio engineering. Um, there's a couple places here in Washington, and there are some very good places outside of Washington State. So these are the things that I have to look at as well. So this is why I want you to look at that. Okay, so now we're only in this is why I say when I'm talking with you about VNRE, a lot of us are uh, retirees or disabled veterans, are retirees and disabled veterans. And so those are the things that you have to look at when I say that. Now, see, when I talk about the USO, I'm talking about dealing with people who are active duty, and we have to get you guys on point to um, um, you know, we'll depart some information as we travel with that. But we're talking active duty when I talk about VNRE, and when I'll be talking about the DAV as well. You know, the Disabled American Veterans deal there. Okay, I talked about this before. Now I want you guys to understand this. If you're going to be a VNRE, there's Chapter 31, Chapter 32. There's a GI Bill. You're gonna have to do your homework and look up what these chapters 31, 32, and the GI Bill, what makes one better than the other. All right. Now, the thing that we're dealing with now is like I said this before, the VA um they're looking for people who's going to be dealing with all these different types of Chapter 31, Chapter 32, and the GI Bill, because they want to make sure, look, uh, be eligible for one or the other, because the Chapter 31 is coming under very serious scrutiny right now. So I want you to understand, when you're dealing in Chapter 31, it's going to come under scrutiny. And it's going to have to go to DC. It cannot go to your local people who are around you. It's going to take a little bit more to deal with. And I believe personally, and I said this before, is that a lot of people are probably taking advantage of this Chapter 31, because a lot of people were not able to get that money coming into them during the pandemic. So this may be the case. Okay. Also, I want each and every one of you who come up on my spot here, just tell me your rank. Oh, Pete, he's up in the house. This is my brother, Brian Taylor. That's up in the house. Brian Turner's in the house. I want you, brothers and sisters, to realize this brother here. Now, and this is what I say. This brother makes me happy and proud to come up on it. Happy Easter to you, my brother. He has went and got his degree. I call him LT, first LT, and that's because that is my thing is showing respect to how he what he accomplished in the military. Now he's out, got him a degree, and he's going to get into a GS job. Now, if you really want to look at the last video, and I'll probably bring him up again, he actually showed a book on how to apply and how the application process is for the government. Okay. So for everybody who's gotten out of the military, say you got out after your first 3 years, say you were a PFC E4, and say you finished your first commission and you want to get out and do things a little better. I want you to check out this brother here, Brian Turner, LT, first LT, salute, um, doing his thing. And he's showing each and every one of you how to, if you're going to get a GS job, and if you're not sure what a GS job is, you go and check it out. We're going to be talking about this. And they got wage grade jobs as well in the government stratosphere. Okay, so listen to this brother. He went and got the book. He went down to the workforces, work resources, and he's wrapped to them. And he's a young, talented young brother. And so you guys don't sleep on this. And this is why I say we all are, and like Lush's journey say, you know, we work together, we grow together. So I want you to understand that this is not about me. I'm just going to tell you what I've been through. And I'm not saying it all will work for you, but how I dealt with it. This is why we have brothers like Brian Turner come up here and part. I'm sorry, LT. And we have Vanessa Kitty. And believe it or not, my good friend Patty J, she works in corporate with a restaurant chain, and she can tell you some things that they don't deal with, and they don't put everybody we wrap into here. I don't care if you want to. My nephew, he's a colonel. We're talking about how we can help you move to the next level, and we're talking about doing this legitimately, not playing. Look, and Brian will tell you, LT will walk. This is something that you have to have patience. You have to be asking the right questions of where you want to go. And this is why and this is my segue coming into the DAV, Disabled American Veterans. I say this with veterans of foreign war, disabled American veterans. I say it with attorneys. I say this all across the board. You have to understand what you're looking for. And you have to be laser about what you're looking for and start asking those questions. And you will quickly understand. A lot of people are not heading to where you're heading. Some people will say, I experienced some of the things. And that's good because these are breadcrumbs that's going to lead us to where we need to go or where we need to be at. And I don't, my stepfather hates me to end a sentence with "at." It's just not ethically pronounced. But what I'm saying is this: every time I rap to you guys, I'm rapping to you about hopefully that I can tell you some things that can help you. And what I mean by this is that you don't experience what I did that made me, drop off, maybe go. I tell people 30 years to get me to 100% disability. I don't want you guys going to 100% disability unless you have to, unless you're there. The reason why I say this is because of this. Neuropathy, painful, pills every day. Yes, I got my dental, I got all that and all that taken care of. But if I can have a healthy life and be doing like my brother, the LT, Brian Turner, and moving forward, healthy young brother doing his thing. I want you all there. And that's why I say it's going to take you taking care of your body as well. I rap to you as a Seattle Black veteran. I rap into you also as a person that's turning 60 this year. Okay. So I'm telling you about things that I've been through. So hopefully you can, can see that. And it can help you do better for yourself and your family. This is what it's about. I had some people think I'm trying to brag on me. No, hell no. I don't have no time to talk about me. I'm trying to live. Okay. And what I want to do is help you. This is why I look today. I went down to the US. So volunteered. I've never been to the U.S. So, like I say, if any of my brothers and sisters been there, let me know how it was and where you went to, what state or that you went to. If it was another country, how was it for you? And because my thing is to come there and make sure that you have a better transition going to wherever you're going to go. If you're going to see your parents or you're coming and your kids over to another place, I would like to know your experience because if it hasn't been good, which I hope it has not been bad, that I can make sure that I'm on point when I'm helping you transition from there. All right. Now, on top of that, what I'm giving you from me is my old school of living and how things have moved. Because, and just like LT, when we was rapping, I tell a lot of people, if you if you're I'm dealing with a lot of disabled veterans or retired people, and I appreciate it 100. So the thing is, I want to help you avoid some of these, how can I say these mental traps, man traps, bull crap traps, when people are just trying to blow you off, that you understand it and you're able to move around it, move over it, and not deal with it, and don't let it affect your outcome. If it's going to affect your outcome, let it affect your outcome. Is that, dude? I saw that coming, and now you're very cognizant of it, and you know how to deal with it. When sometimes you're just getting slammed with some stuff, you don't really pay attention to things, and you're like, "Is this just me tripping?" No, sometimes it's not you tripping. So let me say this: when I talk about the DAV, now I gotta be real with you guys. I'm 100% a lifetime member with the DAV. Now I have to say this: the first Magnums in the house. Hey man, it's so good to see you. I got it. I told you. Oh, okay. I'm gonna bring you brothers up here in a second. So anybody want to come up? I want you to come up. Yes, you got to tell me your story. Don't go nowhere first, Magnum. I want the Magnum group. I want to hear it. Okay. Okay. So the thing is too is when I'm telling you some of the stuff that you're dealing with, um, and I'm looking forward to hearing. I got to hear your story. Um, is that I want to hear, how things was, especially if I tell you something and it's really not matching up, and you say, well, come in and bring it to me and tell me what's going on, because, like I say, this is not about me. It's about us. And we're gonna have to, we have to move with helping each other. And I'm gonna tell you, and so for me going for 30 years to fight to where I am now is because I was in that particular discriminating group as being a Black American. And that's just how it is. I'm not going to sit and sugarcoat it or whatever. Yale University did a study on this. Everybody, we have rapped about this. I'm gonna bring you brothers up here because I really would love to hear from you brothers. And yeah, hit me up. And yeah, always, you guys, anytime I'm up here, you guys make sure you come up here if you want to and come rap to a brother. I will tell you this. Mac, I'm gonna bring you guys up. Do me a favor, because you guys gonna hold me down for a minute because I had to run into the men's. Okay, so yeah, come on up, guys, and let's rap, let's kick it, and tell me what's going on with you, because it's your stories that are very important. It's just not what I have to say; it's what you have to say. And like I say, if I'm giving you something and you find it's like a little bit different or whatever, man, come on, bring it on up here and let's rap about it. BT, first LT, I'm bringing you up here right now. Hey, LT, hold me down for a second, my brother. I'll be right back.
Take your time.
Be right back. Thank you, brother.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hope I didn't. Hope I didn't come. Hope I didn't miss too much. I was in and out. Hope I didn't miss too much. Hope everyone's having a blessed Good Friday. Um, yeah. So I came on the last stream. I just met a Seattle Black veteran. Seems like a pretty cool dude. But as he already told you, I'm going through the process of becoming a federal employee through a GS job. So a little bit about me. I'm from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, born in Houma, Louisiana, which is a suburb of New Orleans. I was in the military for 4 years and decided to get out and go back to school, get my master's degree via GI Bill, which I'll be completing next month. I graduate next month. So I had a couple other options as far as work, but one thing I've always wanted to do is be a federal employee for multiple reasons. For one, just obviously, uh, even the main reason why I want to be a federal employee for me is I can still work closely with the military. I love being in the army. I got out for my own reasons, of course, got out on honorable. And my thing was I wanted more business opportunities in the real world. And getting a federal job, especially in like service support roles like logistics and IT. I can work closely with soldiers, kind of still work closely with soldiers, have an opportunity to still have that military feel, and two, the potential to potentially travel. And also, I don't mind talking about contracting opportunities too. I'm also applying for those. So I actually just started the application process. I've applied for 15, no, I lied, about 20 different GS jobs already. Um,
Wow.
I completed my government resume, which, with that process, I just continuously update and modify it based on the job description. Just continuously making sure that my resume is curtailed to the job description. That's what they asked for. Even though I have a master's degree, typically with a master's you can apply for GS11, but I'm a youngin I'm a youngin in the so I don't mind applying for like GS7, 8, or 9, as long as it's in an area that is good for those. Because the thing is, those are kind of lower end positions, and the salary range, not bad. It's not a bad salary range, but for larger areas like Seattle and Los
Hmm.
Angeles, you're gonna want a little bit more money. So I've applied mainly in the South, which is good for me. I'm from the South.
There you go.
So what you about to say? Go ahead.
No, go ahead, LT. Keep going. Keep going. You're doing good.
So I'm talking more to people my age. So applying. So the GS process isn't a process; it's a journey.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I told you it's not a process; it's a journey. I had to ask around a lot, and I had to ask around a lot, not because people, well, like Seattle Black Vet was saying, you are going to get blown off a lot because most people who get GS jobs are going to be retirees, and let's just face the facts. With the way the GS system is set up, um, it's kind of first come first serve
Yeah.
a little bit. And the thing is, it's kind of I'm much, even though I'm 27 years old. I'm a little younger than most people who apply for GS jobs. Most people apply for GS jobs are going to be retirees, and
Hmm.
which is good news. If you're like me and you have a master's degree, you stand
Yeah.
out a lot more, because even though there are going to be people in those pools who have masters, they're normally a lot older than you are, way older, and they're normally don't and they're normally not they're normally people who are civilians who want to work at the DoD. It's very rare you find former lieutenant colonels and former generals who want a GS job. It's very rare, because most of the time they're retired. They're done working. Period. So, um,
Exactly.
you'll hear this a lot. It's a big pool of people, and you have to compete with a lot of people. But the better you get your resume, and the more you curtail it to match the job description, the better chance you. And like I said, I haven't gotten any word back. I just applied in the last couple of days. I applied for 15 to 20 different positions, both full time and contracting, and I have no problem explaining those to you if you want me to.
No, go ahead. Let them know, because I appreciate you expressing it, because you're going through it, and that's what I tell people sometimes. And you have to forgive me, LT, because sometimes I get tunnel vision, and it's good for you to let people know, from your perspective, because I'm almost 60. You're a young brother doing your stuff, and so yeah, please go ahead.
So, and by the way, my dad was also a prior service too. He puts me on a lot of game as well. In fact, I'm actually working at the post office. I'm going to start working at the post office with my dad.
Right
Just
on.
Yeah. So, I had some opportunities besides there, but I just, for me, federal, like working with the federal government is probably more me. And if you're a vet like I am, you probably
Yeah.
understand. I I think that federal jobs are much better for vets because the environment is much more conducive to who we are personality wise. Especially, I was in combat arms, so the environment I was in was very forward thinking.
Yeah.
But GS means general schedule. So the GS system, as of 2023, it works very similar to how the rankings in the military work, right? So
Exactly.
GS 1 to GS 15. It used to be from GS 1 to GS 12. Now it's GS 15. So if you're in
Oh,
prior service, you know how the GS system works. That's basically the system they use to pay us
yep,
with, right?
exactly.
For example, GS 1 to GS 3 are going to be privates and privates first classes, and that's also going to be um, what was the other rank? Corporals,
Yeah,
right?
corporals, exactly.
I think it's called something different in the Navy. My dad would know. He was in the
I think the Navy are seamen to petty officers.
right. Because my dad was a E8 in the Navy. So
Okay, senior chief.
yeah, senior chief. My dad was a senior chief. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So the GS system is basically within the armed forces. GS 1 through 3 is going to be your privates. That's the lowest rank. You know,
Hmm.
those are people who are basically entry level soldiers. From GS 4 to 7, that's going to be your specialist to sergeant to lower ranking sergeants.
NCOs.
If you get to GS 8 to GS 10, that's going to be your staff sergeants. That's going to no, excuse me, GS 8 and to about 9 is going to be staff. Now, once you get to 10, that's when you start getting the officer levels.
Exactly.
That's when you start getting the officer level. So, for example, I was a first lieutenant.
Hmm.
I got the army as a first lieutenant. I would have been a GS 11.
Yep,
11. And then GS
exactly.
12 is captain. GS 13 is a major. GS 14 is a lieutenant colonel. And then
Hmm.
GS 14, and depending on the steps in each, there's also 10 steps within each GS level. So, for example, um, you might be a staff sergeant. You're GS level 9, step 8 within the
Yep.
10-step scale. Um, and the way it works in the civilian world, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So it's kind
So
of
the
fun. When I say funny, it's kind of auspicious. Um,
mm,
what I mean by that is this. So if I were to get out right now, if I am a former officer, not and I say that to say and I said to say that I'm just listing off like my background. I'm
exactly.
military, I'm prior service.
Yeah.
I have a bachelor's degree, and in the next couple of weeks, I have a master's. I would be typically now by resume, I'd be qualified for GS 11 or 12, but by experience, because I only have 4 years of work experience,
Yeah.
I qualify for 8 or 9. Right?
Yeah.
Because my main work experience, I'm supply chain and project management by trade.
Right on.
So
Mm.
by trade,
Mhm.
I'm actually my experience level within a job would be GS 8 or 9, which is still, if you live in certain parts of the country, that's pretty
That's
good.
good. Yeah.
If you want the opportunity, go look up the pay. The pay is actually, and it's not so much about the pay, y'all. Know the benefit of a GS job is, and the benefits of a GS job are the benefits, the medical benefits, the dental benefits, the housing benefits. That's why for one, I don't like things with me.
Hmm.
Even though you're not going to make the kind of money like start out, you're not going to make the kind of money that other people will make coming
Yeah.
out of college. But the thing is, you'll have the equivalent of benefits that they'll get. They'll have to pay their way for insurance, pay their way. In fact, you can also, I didn't even know this. You can also put money towards your TSP and towards a VA as a GS employee.
Exactly. Exactly. The TSP is an investment program that's really good for that for
Program.
government. And then on top of it, I'm sorry to interrupt you, LT.
Go ahead.
Is that two? They're taking your high last 36 months based on that's going to be based where your retirement is based off of. So LT get it out and he gets that GS where he wants to be. That's where his retirement is going to be based off of as well. He won't have to settle for, just because that government time is going to that government job that he did active duty. And then he's doing working. And as you working with the post office as well, that's going to add on to that. And when you get that GS job, you're high 36. And I did a thing on that, talking about the retirement. Your high 36 plus your TSA, your TSA thrift saving program. And we're gonna and definitely LT. I'm glad you mentioned that because I got to talk with the guy because guys, I'm turning 60 coming up this year, and so I have to look at what my retirement's going to be based on. And just like the LT's telling you, I worked and exactly what he's telling you. I was a GS6 going to GS7, and that was before I was still enlisted when I got out, and then when I went to the reserves and I got an E5. But like he says, it's based on that. And then when he gets into that, his high 36 on top of all that government time, he'll be able to retire well before he's 50, I'm sure. And so that's one thing, and and I'm glad you said that, LT. And also, LT, you're talking about working with the post office. And I'll tell you, my father, my stepfather, he left out of the senior chief. He did 30 years. They wouldn't let him do no more, so he got disability. So he got the disability 100%. And then he got his retirement because he did over 20. But then he went to the post office and he did another 20. And while you there, LT, let me know what job, because I when I came in, I worked as a mail handler. My dad was a what do they call it, SDO, one of the supervisors that was at the post office, and he got that. And you're well on your track to be going there, because already with the times you have and with the thing, you're going to retire well. And like the LT says, pay attention, guys. Where you are, that money can make you some money. you know, I was a GS7, and they wanted me to work border security. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do that. But but like you said, but please continue, LT.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So my dad, he's done every job at the post office. He was a mail handler, he was a driver, he's done every job at the post office. And when I get on, I'm taking the test pretty soon as a maintenance person.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll
That's
be,
it.
yeah. So and like I said, I mean, we don't know the future holds. I basically have both options, but I'm obviously leaning more towards the GS system because I want to travel.
There you go.
Uh, young travel. So I like to travel. I like to travel. Well, like I mentioned, I have a cousin who lives in Seattle. I want to go see her.
hmm
I want to go see
Right
her.
on. Well,
Seattle.
if you come up here, you better hit me up.
Oh yes, sir. Most
I'm gonna take you out. I'm gonna show you some things. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
on Instagram.
Um, you know what? I haven't, and you know what?
I found your Instagram.
Yeah, and I haven't updated it in a long time.
Yeah,
And I'll tell you, LT, it's my fault because um and that's why I was trying to lay some things out to the enlisted and some of the NCOs. And Vanessa Kitty, I think she's has to be a major in the Air Force. Vanessa, get a hold of us. But yeah, because I've been doing a lot of moving around. And this is actually my fourth place that I've moved to. And I was talking cats about the vocational rehab and employment system there. And I tell everybody every time you get a rate increase, you're eligible for that. So now they're talking about wanting to send me down to Arizona to go to audio engineering school.
really.
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, I just moved to this place here and I'm kind of like, trying to get settled in. But no, we need brothers like you and LT. I'm so glad that you rock with me because um I always like to let people hear from the other side of the fence or the other side of the story because you was an officer, I was an NTO, and cats don't understand that, even that we have these, they don't understand, that our struggles are the same but they're in different categories. It's like and how you rocking with this. And I think it's important for cats to understand this because now I see guys who are making Master Chief at 30 something years old. I'm like, wow. Back in the day, that wasn't happening. I see cats when I wear this hat. These cats served in Vietnam and they only got to like a corporal, you know, and went through all that. And so it's really interesting. And I think a lot of brothers need to hear your story. And I'm so glad that you're telling it. But please continue.
Oh no, I'm gonna talk to a veteran. I mean, it's an honor. It's always an honor. And regarding people making, yeah, during peacetime, people always make. A friend of mine is a 33-year-old major.
Yeah.
He went to West Point. He's a 33-year-old major, and no, he's like a 34-year-old major. And
Mhm.
like when you're in wartime, they promote based on. I want to say they talked about it a lot. They promote based on there. For example, if you're a staff sergeant during a war, you're probably going to be at the most. You're probably going to be a staff sergeant that entire war. Like unless they need you to make sergeant first class, you're not going to like.
Exactly.
I forget how it works, but normally during wartime, people aren't getting promoted. Like they need everything's a position of need, if that makes any sense.
No,
But
that's very true.
during peacetime, everybody makes rank. You know, there's ranks. You know, they're in peacetime like we are right now. Like I know the news says one thing, but we got to keep it real. We're in peacetime right now. You know,
Yeah.
stable future. But the reason why, another reason why my grandfather was also in, I just believe that the federal system is better for a lot of people. Like for example, I have a specialized field I'm in.
There
Like
you go.
the military has a lot of they have a lot of opportunities in my field. I'm logistics and supply chain and project management. There's a lot of opportunities in my field that are also, I'm gonna be real to you, it's probably safer for me because in my job field, even though there's a lot of jobs,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard for a young black man to break into logistics because they're not gonna be as patient with you.
Oh, that's true.
Not gonna be as patient with you, and they're not gonna be as forthcoming about showing you what to do.
Exactly.
Not everybody
Exactly.
likes the military, and when they find out your prior service military, as I found out, I've done 3 internships. Were fantastic. One was good, but I found out the hard one. No, when people are in the military like you are,
Yeah.
that because one internship I was in, my boss was prior service, and he went to my university. I went to Southern. I go to Southern University. I go to an HBCU.
All right. Salute.
And like I said before, working for the federal government, 99% of everyone you're with is gonna be prior service.
Yeah.
While I'm
Yep.
on right now,
Yep.
if you're somebody like me, you just got out. If you need to make sure you have all your paperwork together. Please, and I'm saying this with the utmost seriousness.
Exactly.
There's something called the 10-point preference. The 10-point preference on GS jobs, as you already know, is
Exactly.
let me tell y'all something. Let me be an adult right quick.
Go ahead.
Not procrastinate and do not slack on your paperwork. There's something called the 10-point preference for everyone who's a veteran.
Exactly.
30% disabled. And I'm going to show the same video. I have a young cousin who's also getting out the military. Listen to me well. Going to do out processing when you get out the military. I know it's boring as hell. I know it's annoying. And I know that for a lot of you, you're probably a whole lot smarter. No, not to be rude. You're probably a lot more experienced in life than the people you're working with.
Exactly.
To make sure you work with these people and get all your paperwork done.
Exactly.
That paperwork is so important, not just for you getting job opportunities, but for getting money.
Yep.
It's gonna make life a lot easier. So you don't have to go all the way back to Fort Timbuktu and call it put on hold for 2 or 3 hours straight, like I did.
Exactly.
Put on hold for 2 or 3 hours straight because you didn't get your stuff done. Now, luckily, my mom, she's a military wife. This whole process goes. My dad is responsible,
See, exactly.
Other military mom, so she helped me out. Thank God she helped me out. But if you, that 30%, so let me be the first person to tell you. If you did 4 years in the military, you're gonna have about 35 to 40% disability off rip. If you did 4, especially in combat arms, if you did combat arms, you have about 50% disability.
Exactly. Exactly.
Got a big old scar on my neck. I had surgery on, so that's already 25, 30% right there. I'm a workout fanatic, so I always make myself and shit. But I want you all to hear this and hear this well. Now, and I'm not talking to the people who are probably more. I'm talking to the people who are my age range who think this is stupid. Trust me, the Seattle Black veterans told y'all this before. Do not ask out your paperwork.
Exactly.
Not ask that paperwork is basically money. Do not. Please don't.
Please don't. Let me add on to the LT. He's a 100%. And this is why when I talk to people and I go, look, anytime that you've been to sick call or been to where you have to go, you need to make sure you have that paperwork. Look, let me tell you guys and girls, if you sleep on that, the problem you're going to have to deal with is people who don't want to see you succeed or thinking that you're going to do better than them.
Right.
Some people might just slow your roll, but that's like the LT's telling you. And I agree with 100. You have to be understanding. And I tell people this before you ETS, start planning. If you're going to get out, Start planning a year before. Start
Mhm.
planning a year before. And now the thing is, if you are a grunt or the person who's ADA and you're out in the field, you don't have time to do that because you're out in the field. You got to get back into the garrison and you have to be moving with that. If you have wife and kids, put that wife on that mission to help get
Right,
that stuff
right.
going for you before you.
Gotta work together. And on top of that,
Mhm.
y'all, and I mean this with as much respect for my fellow. Don't tell anyone you're ETSing. Don't
Exactly.
tell anyone your plan. When you tell people your plans, because I'm a
Please.
social person. I'm I,
Me.
I'm a
Me.
social person. You know, I'm from down south. I'm from New Orleans,
Well,
Baton Rouge. I was raised to be social.
yeah,
I won't call myself a talker. I'm not much of a talker, but I am
I
very.
am.
I'm
Go
very
ahead.
social. Don't tell people, especially your superiors, that you're ETSing. Don't
Exactly.
let them know. Because the thing is, some people view you leaving the military as you quitting. You're
Mhm.
obviously not quitting. You want to find another job. But the thing
Exactly.
what you have to understand, if you're Sergeant Turner, or if you're Lieutenant Turner, Captain Turner, nobody, for one, they don't
Exactly.
care. And then number two, a lot of them have to be in the military. They don't got any education. They don't have
Mhm.
life skills. They're stuck here.
That's true.
They don't have
Uh,
any,
Yeah.
especially if you're educated. Let's say you're a sergeant who just wanted to pay off your student loan debt. You join the military.
Yeah.
You're an E6 or an E7. You just try. A lot of people don't have it like you have it. A lot of people are forced to stay in the military. You
Exactly.
don't know what people are going through. Like, especially if you're active duty, you don't know what people are going through.
Exactly.
You do is keep your mouth shut and plan and just move in silence. Move in silence and keep your plans to yourself. Don't put a knife to your neck, so to speak, like the Bible says. Put a knife to your
Mhm.
neck if you think you talk too much, man. Just
I like that.
put a knife to
That's
your neck, man. Like I learned the hard way. I told one person I was getting out, and next thing you know, the whole battery knew. We call it a battery in it.
yeah. That's what. Yeah.
Artillery.
Yeah. We didn't have company with
The
that
whole
battery.
battery knew, and I wasn't getting out for nothing. I just decided, I want to go back to school, and by the grace,
Yeah.
I'll be finishing up. But in 2 weeks, no 3 weeks, I'll have my MBA.
Yeah.
My not my commander, my executive officer, who's nothing personal against him. He didn't
Alright, so
like it. Guess what? All of a sudden, my very cushy job turned not so quick. I was in the field a lot more than I was.
Yep, exactly. I was on NCO duty. I was
Right?
on that shit rapidly. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
I'll
Yeah.
never forget Sergeant First Class Richardson, who was my mentor, my NCOIC, Sergeant First Class Richardson. God bless him, from South Carolina. One of the smartest men I ever met in my life.
Hmm.
Tall black dude. One of the
Hmm.
smartest you'll ever meet. He was my NCOIC when I worked in the S6. When
I
I
know.
wasn't in the field. I was working at six.
Yeah.
He gonna call. He said, because I didn't, because you know who I told. We were at the gym, and I
Hmm.
told one of them, look, and we were at the gym during PT. And I think I might have told one of the E6s or E7s that one of the staff sergeants. I think I might have told him that I
Yeah.
was getting out. Now I was just saying it because I. Next thing you know, I come the next day. Sergeant First Class Richard said, he said, "Hey Turner, I I thought I didn't know you told the whole battery about you getting out." I said, "What
Yeah.
whole battery about me?" He said, "You told such and such you was getting out, and now." Man, before you knew it, I was getting calls to my battery
Oh.
office. I get called to the company commander's office. They said, "You getting
Oh.
out?" And I go like, "Yeah."
Yeah. It's like, oh God.
they
All
were
right.
they were pushing my soldier for life dates back, because the thing is, you have to understand, man. Only 1% of the whole, really 2% of the whole population is in the military. When one person leaves, it's felt all throughout. It's felt all throughout the DoD. So you
Oh
have to
God.
understand, only 2% of the population in the entire country works in
Mhm.
the military. They need people.
Yeah.
I know it. Like it's cute whenever they say we're 1,000% at capacity. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Hmm.
why my dad was a recruiter. My dad
Yeah.
used to when we lived in before because we lived in Houma, and we also lived in, I don't know if you're familiar with the New Orleans area. My
Yeah.
dad is from New Orleans.
Yeah. Yeah.
We lived in Houma. We also lived in Algiers. My dad is from Algiers.
I know.
My that's the 15th ward of New Orleans.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'll never forget, bro.
Oh
My
God.
dad got a call one day for recruiting,
Oh,
They said, yeah, Turner, can you do some little recruiting? Their little recruiting favor. Go all the way to Corpus Christi to do some recruiting. Corpus Christi,
yep,
the border.
yep,
You
yep.
know what I'm saying?
That's
That's so what I'm trying to get to is the military. The military's in a good spot, but they always need people. And losing an officer, especially, it's gonna
oh,
get felt.
yeah, especially a good LT. I
Yeah,
mean, dude.
yeah, I was okay. I did my job.
No, no, you did because I was when they told me that I went to right before Desert Storm. I went to the NTC,
Hmm.
and that's where I got.
California.
Yeah, out there in Barstow, I got frostbitten from the knees down.
Hmm.
And I came back and they were like, the thing was, we can re-enlist you anywhere you want by any person that you want. I said, okay, re-enlist me on the moon with the general. And they just like, yeah, yeah, right. And just, they were gonna send me to airborne school because I
Oh.
went to Air Assault, and they said, we'll send you to airborne, we'll station you over in France. But that was right before Desert Storm came out. And the military, we put you where we need you. We put
Hmm.
you where we want to. And to me, and I hate to say this, but if you ain't got no comrades who can help fight for you, they're gonna put you where they want to put you. And if they don't like you, they think that this and that and whatever. I'm like, okay, whatever. But I ran into a colonel, and he says, hey, come and come and be a drill sergeant for me, and we'll send you all over. That's why I went to the reserves, and they sent me like all over the country.
Oh, you
um,
would yes.
yeah, I went to active duty reserves, and they sent me, they made me, and I was on the low end. I was the buck sergeant.
Hmm.
uh, and so the thing is, I knew cats who were sergeant majors in the game, and they were like, uh, they say, hey, Drew, why don't you just stick around? We can get you to E7. But at that time, you can double dip. You can be getting your disability.
Wow.
Yeah. And then they say, well, then they turn around and go, well, you got to choose one or the other. And I'm like, well, I ain't going to rock with this because I went to what's it up here? Fort Lewis. I did Fort Lewis and did
Washington.
a, yeah, we did a MATC, was the mobile training army thing. And we did it over with next to the ROTCs over there. And when they pulled us over there, I got drill sergeant in the cycle 2 times. And but that was working what? 7 days a week, 4 o'clock in the morning to 11 o'clock at night for 3 months straight. And
Yep.
so, yeah, so that burnt me, and I was like, okay, I'm good with this. And so they gave me my drill sergeant cycle. Then that's when they came out with it, and I go, nope, okay, then I'm at to go. And I did that, and only getting 10%, right?
Yep.
And so and I had to fight for that. And but everything that the LT is telling you guys, if you haven't listened to this, or you just later on caught in this, and you are out of the military and you're trying to move forward into what your groove is, I ask you to go rewind this and go listen to what this young brother is telling you, because he's telling you 100% correctly, and how the hustle is and how you have to deal with it outside of that. And like he says, put the knife to your neck. Don't be telling everybody what your intentions are,
Uh,
because
like I
yeah,
don't obviously I'm sharing my business right now. But the thing
yeah,
is
to be on the
that's only after I've kind of established what I want to do. And back on that 30-point preference, I'll make and don't get me wrong. Everybody, like, the reason why I stress that 30-point preference so much is because I'm pretty sure everybody's got disability over 30%. But the thing is,
true.
don't be that person applying on USA jobs and constantly getting the door slammed in your face.
Oh yeah.
Don't, don't be that person who
Hmm.
apply for all these jobs. You apply for 15, 20, 30, 100 jobs. You get rejected by all of them. Want to know why? You don't got your 30. You don't got your SF-15. You don't got your 30%. In some cases, because I'm not a former government employee. I was just a soldier. You might be able to use an SF-50. Let's say you were guard and reserve, right?
Yep.
Maybe if you were guard, I don't know if guard and reserve. Can you get an SF-50 if you're guard and reserve?
Yes, you can. Actually,
I
it's harder. It's harder to do it for the guards. We're talking about that too, because the National Guards, they're suffering big time because they don't have to fight for them like the reserves or active duty. But no, go ahead. Let me give a quick shout out to Peter Investment. Welcome to welcome to the shop. To talk with us and the beautiful LT Brian Turner's up in the house. Respect.
Thank you so much. Because I didn't qualify for the SF50 because I'm not a former federal employee. I'm a former soldier. So, and I'm asking my liaison about that right now because I think the SF50 is more of an on. Now, for me, it'd be for onboarding. I have to go back. You have to fact check me because that's for people who are former government employees. Like
Yeah.
like if you're a former government civilian employee, but
Mhm.
then you might be able to get it because the thing is you might be able to get it in some instances. Maybe if you were a former National Guard and Reserve, and on top of your National Guard and Reserve job, you had a government job as well. So you
Yeah.
get one, but I'm not eligible for one. So what I'm trying to say
Hmm.
is that make sure that, and also make sure you might. There's also a way to get recommended for jobs. You could also get appointed. Maybe you can get somebody from the inside. This is just
There you know. That's true
every
talk.
advantage is good. Every advantage is good because
Exactly.
yeah,
Let me say this to you, LT, real quick, and I'm sorry to cut you off. Because when I got out, I got a job working for the DOD, and I started off being a gate guard at Puget Sound Naval Shipyard up in Bremerton. And then I got a police officer job, and then I got a nuclear police officer security job. And the way I got that is that my mother rented a house from a lady who worked at the administration for the shipyard.
mm-hmm.
Dog, I jumped on the elevator, the mother, her daughters, her daughter's friends, all on the elevator. I'm the only black guy on there, right? And I ended up getting the job. And then I got the job, but I still did with some racist type of stuff that was going on because in Bremerton, um, you didn't have a lot of black people working there, especially in law enforcement, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, and so what LT is telling you guys, you guys really need to listen to this brother here because what he's telling you is 100% correct, and everything that he's talking about, he's going through it on a better level than I have been. But he's telling you exactly right, and so and LT, you don't have to worry about it too much because I think maybe we get about 4 or 5 people to come in on this channel. Because when we're talking about information that can help people, you don't get a lot of people on here. Now, if I was talking to you about drama, Jerry Springer type of crap, and we probably have a lot of people up in here, but I don't mind that. And this is why I say, you see me, LT, you don't see me coming up every other day or whatever, 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 whatever. It's, we're going to talk about the actual things that go on. And that's really cool because and a full disclosure, I'm a master mason, I'm a past master, and I'm not part of no Illuminati or anything. But we always say it's the thin book that people don't open up and read that has some of the most powerful information. So I'm cool with it. But yeah, go ahead, LT. Please keep it quiet.
Oh yeah. So before I'm actually about to go do some more studying because
Roger that.
only
Roger.
only got a couple weeks left, but still got to grind. In fact, I'm sitting for my laptop right now. This is actually my dad's office.
Okay,
My
right
dad's
on.
office at work right now. It's actually my dad's office, but the thing is really comfy in here.
Hmm.
Comfy in here. The thing is, I would love to be in my room,
That
but
needs to be your space, yeah.
but it's actually my dad's office that I just use whenever I go on video stuff like that. But as I stressed in the last video, y'all, especially people who are like me, I'm not the biggest reader. I'm a physical type person. I like
I'm
to.
the same way. Hands on.
I'm a hands-on type guy. Well,
Exactly.
in fact, Mr. Turner, my dad, Mr. Turner, he
Mhm.
actually has my resume book. There's actually a book by a lady named Bart. I forget the lady's name. My dad actually has my resume. My dad, he has to use a government resume for his next promotion at the post
Mhm.
office. He's trying to become a postmaster.
Right
So
on.
yeah,
Really?
huh? Yes.
Really? That's a postmaster? Oh, man.
Yeah, he's working to become a postmaster. He's actually over the plant right now. He wants to become a postmaster.
Oh, he's the MDO.
yeah. So
Right on. No, I was gonna because I was gonna tell you that because my old man he retired as he left out as MDO and
right,
you know and I hate to say this, but it's just it's not just all about who you what you know, it's who you know.
right.
And so yeah, definitely because that's gonna get you off the floor. Forget clerk, mail handler, all that. And like you said, you're going into that is one of the best jobs. I mean, one of the best jobs that you're talking about going into because I seen those guys travel from different plants to different plants to evaluate how their in how their systems are running.
Yeah,
All the
like a Six Sigma expert and stuff like that.
yeah,
A good certification to get. And that's a good. Also, make sure if you got a GI Bill and you only use it on. I only use mine on grad school. I got 2 years left. I know some of y'all want to get your PhD, but listen, the world is changing. Let me tell
yes,
you, if you can use your GI Bill instead of using on it, because instead of going on education, use it for certifications. I
there you
understand
go.
everybody wants to be a PhD. I get that. I got some, use your GI Bill because I'm getting my project management. I'm getting my project management professional certification in a few
Yes.
months. Listen, I understand everybody wants to be a PhD.
Yeah.
Let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
If
Right.
you go to for example, a project management firm, and all you got is a PhD, and some young kid who went to Southern University is a PMP and an MBA, he's gonna get hired before you because he's got
Way.
experience and he got a certification that a PMP applies to every job in America.
There you go.
It is the most sought after certification besides the Google certified cloud expert. The
Yeah.
PMP is the future of American business, and I'm studying
Yeah.
for a madman. I have the book. The book is somewhere around here.
No, you're right, LT, because I tell cats this time is money. Money is time. And if you go and try to go get a 4-year degree and a person get that stuff in a certificate within less than a year, who you think is going to come in there? And like you say, LT, because we used to say this as an NCOs is you can get a butter bar that comes on deck, but he's only been dealing with the book. He hasn't
Right,
been dealing with the experience.
the hard way.
Yeah, and so and then they turn around and look at the sergeant first class and go, "Hey, yo, come and talk to me, because you've been on the grind."
Right.
So the combination of that, and like the LT's telling you guys, and I tell cats this because some cats, oh, I just want to get in the fraternity. Okay, bless your soul, but if you can go to a tech college and get that degree or that certificate in that short amount of time, because this is the same thing they're looking at over in Japan and China. If I go to a 4-year degree and I get somebody that comes in with that certificate and he's on the ground getting the education and the grind, that's the person you want in there. If you get a person that comes straight off the block and go, I mean, because you know how it is, LT. Because a lot of the second lieutenants will go, "Let me grab this person over here." I had second lieutenants coming to me because they were playing pranks with each other lieutenants, and they were like, hey, sergeant, tell me how I can get into this office, how I can do this and all that." And then but then you're in the right field because LT, uh, first sergeant, mess sergeant, supply sergeant, 3 people you really don't want to fuck with. Uh,
Not tell
Pardon
me
my vernacular.
no. Trust. I learned, man. I'll never forget that guy, Sergeant Blaylock. Me and Sergeant Blaylock did not start off good. It took me
Mm,
a month to realize I need to take him out to a steak dinner and make it better.
there you go. Let me drop you over to kill ass sticks and
young, 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 uh, up and coming sergeant, but bit of a hothead. He's from Ohio. God bless. I was actually in his wedding.
yeah, yeah,
Started off bad, but when I found out how important he was to get all this stuff done for my battalion commander, I
yep,
learned the hard way.
yeah.
I made it up to him. I was actually in his wedding. Not about 3 years ago. I was in his wedding. He got married in Oklahoma. But
LT
they
Turner, man, I love you, brother.
because two different cultures. I'm from down south. He's
Mhm,
from the Midwest.
yep,
I'm more. I'll say it. I was more chill, and I was the LT kind of like I came from a big party school, and he's actually a ranger now. He's this
wow,
he loved the army was his second dad, and
Yeah.
He's a very hard up guy. We clashed. Clashed,
Magnum, get in there.
clashed, man. We clashed a lot, but it,
Yeah.
after some, buddy, after some y'all come here, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, man.
But
Um,
see, it took your intelligence to understand that. A lot of cats don't get it these days. I'm like, yeah, stop playing around. Yeah. Okay. Hey, we got Magnum in here. Stay with me,
Hey, what's going
LT.
on? What's going on?
Magnum, what's up with you? You said you want to rap to me and tell me what's happening with you. You got the LT Turner on here, and you got the Seattle Black, and welcome the Magnum. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Uh, what's the brother name? LT.
man, you already know, man.
Hey,
Bless,
what's good? Salute, brother. How you doing?
just fine.
Good, good. It's good seeing you, brother.
Yeah.
I had a question. You was talking about a PNP or something like that a little while ago. I apologize. I was supposed to be on the stream earlier. I was just talking to my dad about some things revolving about what I had to tell you tonight, and uh, I didn't have a chance to, jump in real quick. But
Of course.
if you don't mind, if you got a second, could you uh, break down what you were talking about as far as the certification? You were talking about something with Google certifications being sought after and people going after PhDs, and that's not really necessary. Could you go into that a little bit?
Certainly. So within Forbes right now, if you go on Forbes.com and give you the 5 most sought after certifications, and the top 3 right now are the Google Cloud IT certification. There was one other Google Cloud one, but the third highest right now is the Project Management Professional by the Project Management Institute, which is the PMP. It's a certificate. So basically, project management, and it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm sure you probably are pretty familiar with project management. Is basically you being over teams, and you basically, for example, if you're in a particular field, being able to lead teams and being able to, so to speak, organize and delegate tasks at a very high
Mm-hmm.
level.
Mm-hmm.
Basically kind of like it's like being a first sergeant or a colonel over
Right.
your, so to speak. But the reason why I have to start off the certification is because no matter what field you are, no matter what your expertise is, as a project manager, you're able to lead and delegate that team regardless of your background, regardless of different backgrounds. And the thing is, the reason why it's so important, uh, leadership's a very leadership to say that the world's changed and adapted so much more technology. Leadership, especially
Mm-hmm.
punctual leadership, is such a very hard thing to find nowadays. But what the PMP basically certifies is that not only are you intellectually capable in your field, you're able to combine the resources of multiple individuals in order to get a specific task done.
There you go.
Gotcha. Hey, that
Uh,
was a pretty good explanation and breakdown. What do you think, brother?
No, no, you're right. Because leadership and being able to understand the resources that you have to make a project. This is what I've found in the civilian world, and please forgive me for anybody who's on there. Is that in the civilian world, we tend to shuck off responsibilities, and we tend to show people who don't won't stand in the fray to bring leadership, but it's also based upon the organization that you're with.
Mm-hmm.
And like the LTC, I believe is that um, when you want to get stuff done, that's the bottom line. And you know how we rock in the military is that you know, either you're going to be with it or you're not going to be with it. We're not going to waste our time playing with you with it because the bottom line comes as delegating. And I would have to understand, I have to give both of you brothers some props because now that I'm on the civilian side of things, even though my mental stability doesn't allow me to tolerate um, people who are not ready to stand in the fray and get the game pumped up.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem we find that is, and I'm not trying to be discriminatory or say it's, we find it a lot in the blue collar world where it's really going to be hard for people who want to step into, and say, there was a thing on National Public Radio, which Elon Musk is dogging out,
Uh-huh.
is,
I heard about that.
yeah, it said, um, we don't tolerate and please forgive me. I think, and this is just my perception, guys, and you're free to tell me that I'm wrong. Is that just because you have money don't make you right?
right,
You
Right.
know,
right. That's extremely true.
Yeah.
especially in
And
this society.
yeah. And so we have a problem believing that because this person has money that he is, but he's killing, he's to me, we can't afford in the military for people to act like they're spoiled kids.
Right.
We don't have that. And I would have to honestly say this, and I would put this straight out. I have no respect for Mr. Flynn, um, to this day. I mean, I didn't really have much for him because I didn't know him, but just the way he's conducting himself, he's not conducting himself as a leader. He's conducting himself as an egotistical individual. And when we want to get things done, and this is the thing where we have to deal with in the civilian world, is I think it's us as military, we what do you say, adapt, adjust, and overcome.
Mhm.
Um, but some of the stuff that we should not have to adapt with. And this is why I honestly, guys, why I do my channel is because my money's fixed. I'm a 100% disabled veteran. I would love to be in LT shoes or yours, even Magnum, young brothers, man. And you're striving to look for answers. And this is why I say for me, it's like I gotta give you whatever answers I can give you, and I'm very much appreciated and respect for both of you brothers that you come up and 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 I don't ever expect you to put your business on Front Street or whatever, but I appreciate your realness. And
Yeah.
I mean, and LT is 100% on point with everything he says because, dude, man, if I was your age and experienced what you experienced, I'd probably have some more act right, LT. but I look at it, it's like, wow, a lot of this, we don't get it, and I appreciate you guys. But no, you guys continue to rap to me.
Um, and what was his name again? Magnum.
Yeah, you can just call me Mac.
Where you from?
Well, I'm from Brooklyn, but right now I'm in Louisiana, and
Oh, oh
Oh,
yeah.
I was in the Marines, Marine veteran. I
Where
was
about
stationed I was stationed in Gitmo, Camp Lejeune, and Camp Pendleton.
wow.
Camp
So
Lejeune? North,
Real,
North Louisiana.
yeah, North Louisiana.
real
Yeah.
quick, real quick, Magnum, are you still looking into the pack act thing?
Yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah, I got to tell you what happened too, with my exam and all that stuff. Man, let me tell you. Oh, let me come on cam real quick so y'all can see who I am. Well, you already know me, brother, but
Yeah, I know. That's why you come up. I don't have to worry about you. But go ahead. Yeah, let LT know what's up.
all right, what's up, y'all?
All right, all right.
All right, all right. So, man, let me tell you. All right, a couple weeks ago, I had an issue where I was at work and I was just not in a good mood. Had a rough client I was talking to, and started setting up the exams and everything like we were talking about. Like you gave me a lot of advice that I was looking into the chapter 31 up to title 31 and things like that.
Yeah.
And I'm going with my other friends who are already familiar with it.
Hmm.
And um so my primary care at the VA
Hmm.
prescribes me gabapentin. I don't know
Oh,
if any of y'all have had that.
oh, I got a grip of it. Yeah. Oh,
So
I got a
I'm
grip
not the
of
type of dude who likes medications. I don't
that.
like
Same.
any of that stuff.
Hmm.
And there's a reason for that because I'm not absolutely sure how it's going to affect me. Everybody's different.
Hmm.
So, bruh, I could not go to work the next day.
Hmm.
I was like pacing up and down the hallway.
Hmm.
I'm like anxious to do something, but don't know what it is that I need to do. Like
Mm.
it's like I'm ready to go somewhere, but I don't have anywhere to go. Like
Okay.
I work at home, you know, I
Okay.
work remote, so I don't have to leave my house to work.
Okay.
And I'm just like up front, like I've taken the puppies out, and I'm just like, this shit is hilarious.
Hmm.
I'm pacing back and forth. If there was I was telling my dad this before I hopped on with y'all.
Hmm.
if I thought that's what cocaine made you feel like, that's what I think cocaine is. You know what
Gabapentin.
I'm saying? Yeah, to me, because
Mm,
everybody's body is different. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
exactly. Hmm.
So, and the reason why I learned this is true, because at first I thought it was, maybe something, maybe it's a psychological thing.
Hmm.
I called that weekend, I called the VA. I didn't even realize it was Sunday.
Hmm.
I called thinking like I'm gonna talk to someone and it's like after hours.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
no.
And I guess this is just like fate or whatever, but the woman who I spoke to had the same reaction.
Yeah, no.
So that's when I was like, "Oh shit, you went through this?" Like I'm sitting here freaking the fuck out thinking like, "Oh my God, what the hell's wrong with me?"
Hmm.
Something's wrong with me.
Hmm.
And when she said that, I was like, "Oh my God," like and then that's when she recommended like, reaching out and scheduling something and
Yeah,
letting the doctor know that I had like a weird type of side effect from it.
yeah.
And
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh, so fast forward to Tuesday,
Hmm.
2 weeks ago,
Hmm.
and the only reason I remember this is because I'm talking about it.
Hmm.
Um, 2 weeks ago on Tuesday, I have my CMP exam for my back,
Okay.
and the doctor is super cool.
Yeah.
Um, Basically walked me through the process because I already let him know like I've been through this for I don't know, I gave up like in 2015, something like that, on even trying to do this because I felt like I was spinning my wheels. And
Hmm.
that's another thing I wanted to thank you about. Like when you say like you're just giving people your experience, you're helping somebody like me. And when I come on and I tell you what I'm going through, maybe somebody else will hear it and be like, I went through that,
Yeah.
and they can
Hmm.
essentially have a point of reference.
Okay.
Um, so anyway, I go to my CMP exam. I let him know that this gabapentin just has me weirded out,
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
and
How did it turn out?
so
How did?
that's where it gets crazy.
Hmm.
I think somewhere along the line they thought that I might be suicidal. Somewhere along the line,
Really?
yeah,
And why do you
and
think that they came to that conclusion? Why do you? I mean, do you think it's
I
something that you told them?
I think so, and basically, you notice how they ask you like this steps, like it's like a specific series of questions that they ask
Hmm.
you.
Yeah.
And I essentially, from what I can recall, answer them like I normally do.
What do you mean?
Like if they ask you if you feel like harming yourself or others,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah.
do you have
But
thoughts of
questions
suicide?
to ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah, are
Yeah.
you familiar with they ask you like this group of questions, like they have to ask you these questions.
Exactly.
And it's like they go through these steps, and I told you this before. I recognize
Hmm.
patterns.
Hmm.
So after a pattern, like a bell goes off, I might not immediately know what the pattern is that I'm sensing,
Hmm.
but I'm sensing a pattern, and it's kind of like a bell's going off, and it's like
Hmm. What kind of patterns are you? If you don't mind me asking, I don't
when they
want you.
ask you about the
Yeah.
history of suicide, like the questions about suicide,
Hmm.
and like if you have a history of it, have you ever committed suicide before?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Um, do you have thoughts of it? Do you have a plan? Things like that.
Yeah.
Um, so when he asked me these questions, I just went through the motions, like, yeah, 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 no, but I don't have a plan. I don't have any weapons. I don't plan on harming myself or others.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And this is genuine because I don't really plan on hurting myself or others.
Exactly.
And
What?
so at the end of the exam,
Yeah.
a gurney arrives.
Oh God, they ready to will you in, huh?
Yeah. So,
Mhm.
like, he's talking, he's like, "All right, it's gonna be all right. We're gonna get you the help you need." I'm like, "Okay," like don't don't fucking betray me. You know, like this is. I'm like I already told them
Yeah.
like don't fuck me essentially.
Yeah. I'm playing with you.
So
Can
What was the name of that medication one more time?
gabapentin.
gabapentin, something like
Yeah, I
that.
thought
All
so.
right. Hang
Yeah,
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
thought
Excuse
so.
me for a moment.
Okay. So I will tell you, this is my journey with gabapentin, and I want you to continue, but I want you to, kind of reel some of this in with you.
Hmm.
Um, I was going to get up and go and show you. I have 8 bottles of gabapentin. All right.
Hmm.
Gabapentin, I guess, is supposed to be a steroid, because I can take that without eating anything or whatever. And it can make you feel tired.
Hmm.
It can make you have a depression mood. Now, I want you
Hmm.
to understand this too, though. I want you to weaponize this in your behalf. Because if they want to do the thing of where we're going to bring you in because we think that you are, uh, let me tell you, every disability comes with a mental disorder. So, me and LT were talking because I used to run cross country. I used to run 50 miles a week.
Hmm.
Now that I have this nerve damage, I went out to Barstow and we have this frostbite. And now that I'm getting older, uh, I'm suffering from arthritis. So
Hmm.
the thing that we suffer from mentally is I used to be able to do this. Now I
Right.
can't do this anymore. What the hell? Why can't I do this? Now, the thing is, I want you to be very, uh, do your homework. And I mean, it's going to be hard because just like me and LT was talking about, it's kind of fine, having people to understand, and not go against you, trying to play with you, because this is the thing that kind of gets us kind of really pissed off and off the rails. For me, I don't have patience for it no more. So
Hmm.
understanding, and I want you to do this with the gabapentin. And what we some of us don't do is go and look at the side effects,
Right.
what they can be.
Right.
'Cause we need to totally understand that, because what can happen is they say, well, if this makes you feel this way, because back in the day, Prozac used to be the thing.
Ritalin and Prozac.
Yeah. Mhm.
Ritalin,
Eh,
Prozac,
eh,
Alavil.
Yep. And so now they pull back from the Prozac, and especially with the VA, they're not going to be trying to give you something that's going to look. I took metformin for my diabetes,
Hmm.
and metformin was not working at all for me. And I'm not allergic. I never been allergic to anything, so we have to pull back from that. So your doctor's going to look at something that's going to be less to make you feel that way. But the thing is, you've already gone down that path.
Right.
Okay. So the
Right.
thing is, you know, um, and that's what I try to say. It's kind of hard because look, when we don't know anybody who's experiencing what we think that or what we are experiencing, you kind of makes you feel like you're out there assed out on your own. But the thing is, look at that, and also look at when you Google it, look up the side effects and look at what the alternative is. Okay, now look at it this and say, well, is this gabapentin make me feel this way, and how does it make me feeling? Yeah, because they're going to pull you in on that, and that's another thing, though, because if you are not, if you have never filed or put yourself in a position to file for mental health issues,
Hmm.
now you are in that category to do that.
Right.
And so then we have to look at contacting somebody who's going to help us get our percentage level up, because this is what we're experiencing now. A lot of it, what we're experiencing, and I never believed this. I said everything is a lot more mental.
Hmm.
And I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. So how do we get back from mental dysfunctional to mental functional?
Right.
So
Hmm.
if they called they called the people there that they put on the gurney on you and took you into a
You're on
spot.
you're on some type of mind altering medications. You gotta be about 8 to 9, maybe 100% disabled. Man, you gotta be close to 100% disabled because uh
Man.
a drug like that, that's the kind of drug that a mind altering drug. So
Yep.
especially if you're going to see a regular psychological eval.
Yep.
You go to the VA or do you go to Fort Polk or do you go to Fort Camp Lejeune for your VA appointments?
Oh, I got a VA. I'm not. I'm in Louisiana right now. I'm not in North Carolina. I'm in Louisiana,
Or part?
Northeast. So around Shreveport.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
So you gotta be able to go to There's a couple VA centers. There's one in Houghton. There's one in Leesville. There's
Yep.
one in Bossier City. There's also one in a little town called Ruston. Ruston's in Monroe. That's actually where my rival school, Grambling. So look out.
Rival school, Grambling. What was your school?
I go to
Russ.
Baton Rouge. I'm from Louisiana.
I can hear it. I can hear it. I can hear it in your voice.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah. I
say
hear
that.
it.
No, but LT's telling you right though, and that is, if you're going to those, and you're getting that on your records, and that's what we were talking about earlier. Now that you get that on your records, man, I'm reluctant to tell you to go to the DAV, but I want you to go to them anyway because they're free. And what you can do is ask for their opinion on how you can move forward with filing, because I was told this: the maximum I can get off a mental eval was 70%, but that's not true. I'm getting a max eval of 100% right now, and so the thing is, like the LT say, grab your records, and especially if those guys are your people, your primary care doctor.
Mhm.
And get with your primary care doctor. My primary care doctor is hella cool, but I'm like both you brothers. I'm not down for taking all these medications, and I'll get up and I will pull up and show you this here. LT, hold me down real quick. I'm gonna show you guys this real quick. Right back.
All right.
What was your MOS?
0311, 0325.
Oh yeah, supply.
Negative.
What that is?
Infantry and security force.
Oh, you said F. You said F. Oh, excuse me. You said 011.
0311
Oh,
and
311 was infantry. Oh, so you must have been at Fort Benning, huh?
No. Wait, are you Army or?
Army.
Yeah, that's why. Nah, I was Marines. Lejeune is in North Carolina. Pendleton is in California, and Gitmo is in Cuba,
Oh,
Guantanamo Bay.
yeah. My dad was at Gilmore. He was in Navy though.
Yes, so I might have met him. Never know.
How old you is?
42.
Nah, you ain't in my pop. My dad's 58. My dad was what you was, an E7, E8?
Oh man, I wish I was E3.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. But yeah, my dad is 30. He got out as an E8. He just made E8 when he got out. He was a recruiter and he was intel.
Nice. That's actually what I wanted to do. I wanted to go into the Air Force and be a pilot and be intel.
I was field artillery.
Mm.
I was field mission. I went through cadet camp, which is basically basic training for college students. I went through that.
Right.
When I was 18. I went to Fort Knox.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went back to Knox to commission for my commissioning camp, and then I went to Fort Sill. That was my duty station. I did 4 years there.
So you're an officer.
Yeah.
Right.
What part of the Bronx? Man, what's wrong? Why that boy Nas EBK keep getting into trouble, man? You know what that is? Nas EBK? Yeah, that's a little rap out there, man. He a little clown. He need to chill out.
Oh
man, I don't do clowns, man. The clowns belong in the circus.
Yeah. EBK
check
make
this out.
Yeesh.
This is only 4 out of 8 bottles and this is all gabapentin.
God
I'm
damn.
on 9 of these a day, and they give you nortriptyline because it helps get on top of the pain. Because the pain is constantly, and now me suffering from the neuropathy. So I say these are only, and this I got 5 more bottles of these things. Yeah. So, and I tell you, and this way, and like LT was saying, so you, like you said, and like you said, Magnum, it's how it plays
Man.
on your body. So you have to be cognizant of that. And the thing is that since they brung you in for that, you have paperwork from the VA. And so, and I would say this to both your brothers is this, and I tell everybody, um, any kind of and which is we're turning into now is more chemicals lejeune, the pact act
Mhm.
uh in the day it was physical and mental, all right, but if anytime you're suffering physically you're going to suffer mental, okay. I say this because I led it in cross country and police. I wasn't the fastest black guy on the track. I ran cross country. It gave me time to think about getting my ass right. Whoops. Okay.
Mhm.
And when I went into the military, you know, I aced the PT test 8 times in a row.
Mhm.
And so one
Cardio.
of the one that's hard as shit. Because then at that time in the 80s, you didn't have a lot of people looking like me,
Mhm.
especially from the East Coast, from the West Coast. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
So the thing is, um, once you start experiencing that particular mental issues, um, and you got it documented through the VA, this is going to give you an opportunity to raise your percentage rate. If you're a 10, you can get to 20. Um, and they're going to bring you to this. I have medications, and this is real talk. If you know, we move around so much. You ever go and you have too much to drink and you get up and you can't find the restroom because you're in a different location, you know, and
Uh,
and so with medications, you have to watch out for that as well. And so if you're dealing with that, um, 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 check out my things, because which when you get your percentage raise, we're talking about audio engineering or whatever, you're going to be eligible for that, especially if you're down in Louisiana. There's going to be some spots for you to go to.
mhm.
For me being up here, I have to go down to Arizona in order.
Right.
There's a few places there, but Arizona or LA.
How do
But
you travel?
if you are being paid to go to school, they will pay for your travel. But
That is
you
awesome. That is
say that
awesome.
again. Say it
TDY,
again. Say
pretty
it
much.
again.
Say it one more time. So it's a bit of a drag. The weather's bad
Oh
down
yeah,
here.
no worries. If you are in like I talked to my VNRE coach, my counselor today, and they want to know. Okay, they'll pay for your books, they'll pay for your computer. And in the industry of audio visual, it's all Mac is the basic industry. So they'll get you to do computer, Mac computer. But then they have to look at, is it reasonable to travel you from one point to another point? You have to pay attention to, because if you're suffering mental issues, they're not going to make you stress where you have to travel you from one point to one point. So think about this, Magnum.
Uh-huh.
Um, let's think backwards. Let's say you're going to get this mental eval, and it's going to raise your percentage up.
Mhm.
Let's start thinking from there.
Mhm.
If you can move and move about, but you have to make sure you're taking care of your mental health.
Mhm.
Because they're not going to put you to any stress, but they're going to ask you to go to a mathematics and all this other reading comprehension and all that. But if you're saying this is affecting you, and like I say, you know, go and look at what these pills are doing to you, and
Mhm.
that's where you want to report it to, and you want to get on top of that. And like the LT says,
Yeah.
and I agree with him 100, is that um, uh, the way the VNRE is going to look at you is thinking from backwards. We're not thinking about, well, dude, I'm getting into this. We want to know what the outcome that you want to have and how you're looking at that outcome. The same with the mental eval. I just had a mental eval with my uh, doctor here. We're going to talk about this emotionally support pets. Um, when it comes to that. We'll talk about that a little later.
Mm.
But yeah, you know about the LT, right? Man,
Yeah, I
no.
have two
One of my
puppies in here.
attorney actually said, you know, I think because they actually asked about the program. I think there's a program. Don't they? Do they? Because they talked to me about it, but the lady was telling me about it. She's a bit of a talker. So
Yeah.
I shouldn't have drowned her out, but I was
Tired.
program. The military might it not pay for you a dog, but like
So the thing is, how I deal with it, and I'm a dog person,
Mhm.
and I just got a cat. My cat, he's really cool. Yeah, I know. I know there's a cat because he's all over the freaking place, you know. And I'm like, what the hell? But he's super cool. So the thing is, I talked to my psychological doctor, and he go, "Oh, we'll send you one in the mail." So if
really.
yeah, they'll send you emotional support animal paperwork in the mail, and it can probably save you because over here appears 200 and something dollars to get into it initially. Then you pay the so much, so much. But if you have the emotional support paperwork, and what you can do is talk to the VA. Even if you're 0%, I tell people if we're suffering even 10%, 30%, talk to the psychiatric, call the VA and say, look, um, for me, I don't like dealing with a lot of people, the civilians, because they on some different shit. Part of my vernacular, you know, it's like, you know, in the military world, you would be discharged out of here, you know, because in the civilian world, to me, um, excuses, passing the buck, we can't do that in the military.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, and then if I got somebody who's younger than me and want to sit here and talk shit to me because think they have authority, I'm like, nah, really. And so, I talk to my doctors, but you can talk to even if you're not suffering what I'm suffering from, you can go to the VA and say, look here, how do I get a emotional support paperwork for my
Mm.
and you figure a dog, not a cat, right?
Mhm.
Uh, but my cat, I live on the top floor in my building, and at 3 o'clock in the morning, I live downtown. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't want to be taking my dog down so many
Right.
flights of stairs to go, and there's no place for them to poop or piss. It's all concrete, you know. I'm just like, it's just not cool. I know people who have big ass dogs and they live in a 1 bedroom apartment, a studio. I'm like, how do you do that? Um, so for me, the cat, he cleans himself. He don't need to be walked out, you know. But cats are kind of a freaky different animal. But my dude's cool. But even though he's been sick, throwing up all over the goddamn place. Uh, so, but yeah, you can go to the VA, and the VA will hook you up with a motion support. Because I went online and tried to do it online, but these are organizations that want you to buy pets, emotional pet support shit. You pay 80 to 100, $200 for that stuff. No. I talked to my psychiatrist 3 or 4 days ago, and we had this conversation. She goes, "Oh, I'll send it to you in the mail." She was mostly, I don't hear no feedback or anything, especially if you're dealing with and I always say this, if you got physical issues, it's going to come with psychological issues. And
Mm.
what I mean by that is, you know, like I say, I bought a $1,500 carbon fiber bike. My back was hurting me so much. I haven't rode it in like 2 years. And
Mm.
I'm going to try to get out there and do it this summer. So, and my thing is dealing with some civilians. I just don't have patience for it. And that's just my fault. Um,
Mm.
but it comes with the territory. So that's why I'm saying this guy here I'm turning 60 this October. So I just want to say I want you guys, and you guys are heading down the right path. LT, salute, respect.
So,
Um,
bless you.
you guys are heading down the right path of taking care of yourselves. And so this is the thing. Um, you know, if you have a dog already, um, say you got a dog and that dog helps keep me functionable.
Right.
And ask the VA for that paperwork. Also, some things that surprised me, I was at the USO, if you go to the VA hospital and have a DD-214 and get that VHIC, the Veterans Hospital Identification Card,
Mm-hmm.
that you got it right on. They can get you access to the PX commissary, get you on post, and so yeah, and that's why I appreciate both of you brothers, because you're
Mm.
coming up
I
and
used to we have a
please.
base down here in New Orleans, Belle Chase in the West Bank. I go there all the
Mhm.
time. I use the PX down there all the time. And also, when I need to get my teeth clean, now they'll charge you if you go down, because like I said, I don't have dental insurance right now, but I do. Like I pay out of pocket for dental, but
Mhm.
I go to the VA for my regular doctor needs. Yeah, but what I can do, because I'm in college, so
You're doing
I'm
good.
27. You know what I'm saying? So when I need to get my teeth clean or something like that,
Yep.
I'll go to the dental office in Belle Chase in the New Orleans. And what I'll do is I'll use my VA status. Still gotta pay, but it's better than having to pay $200 for one doctor's visit.
Exactly.
And like as far as the dental at the with the VHIC, like is it just teeth cleaning? Is it like preventative care or is it like more
I'm not sure. I don't want to lie to you. I
I
know.
would
okay.
say look at your because they have and you can go to va.gov.
Hmm.
You don't even have to go and log in on that. Just go and look at just Google um, veterans dental benefits. Just
Hmm.
Google that, and it's going to actually bring you to the va.gov page, and it's going to tell you what percentage that they will cover and what
Hmm.
percentage that you need to be to have them covered. And I honestly tell you because my yuck mouth, um, I got two, three crowns done
Hmm.
through the VA, and I know that would have cost me $1,500 a piece, but I didn't get that until I got to 100. But I hear
Hmm.
that you can still, and for example, because there's I think 8 or 9 different ways you can get dental coverage from the VA.
Hmm.
So go and look those up, because one of the things is, and if you leave out and you already have dental problems when you leave out of the military, they are obligated to take care of and finish what dental issues you have.
Mhm.
Oh.
Now, I hear some people, they say, "Welcome to the Hondo Club." Because when I went there, the guy goes, the dentist was a very good guy. He goes, "Well, what brung you here?" I said, "Well, I got to my 100%." He goes, "Oh, right on. Let's get you taken care of." But I have another crown, and I've been calling them for like the last 2 months, and I ain't heard back from them.
Wow.
So, and because the dentists there are rotating dentists, uh, you ever since I've been there, I have not had the same dentist since I've been there. So, look in your area, because I would say this as well.
Hmm.
In certain areas, just like uh, uh, I'm 100% so I get my car tax done, but I only get it
Hmm.
for one car. In some other states, you get them for two cars. Some places that you live in, based off of whatever percentage, you can still get a tax reduction off of your property. You don't have to be 100% to get
Hmm.
tax reduction off of your property. So property taxes, if you own a house or whatever. So I would say in your state, look at that. And that's why I say I love that you brothers come up, because you're giving perspectives from where you are. And
Hmm.
that's what needs to be addressed, because a lot of cats think, because this, I tell people, and I just told the LT, sometimes I get kind of tunnel vision because I'm into my own stuff.
Hmm.
And when I'm listening to LT and everything that he has told me, and everything that, that you're talking about, Magnum, it's been 100. And LT's, I mean, he's experiencing this, and I almost say, geez, Louise. Um, that is so on point. And like you said, when you're about trying to move to your next level, kind of keep your stuff close, like poker, and like LT say, knife to your neck. Poker, keep your cards close to your chest,
Hmm.
because some people out there don't want to see you do. You know, I've had people tell me. I had a guy tell me this. I go, "How you doing, man?" He goes, "Oh, I got 100." I said, "Man, I'm so happy for you." He goes, "No, I'm just fucking with you." I'm like, "Well, why would you want to mess with me? I'm not your adversary. I'm trying to help you." But he was pissed off because I think he thought I was talking and bragging about what I'm like, no, dude. Uh-uh. Um, I'm You know,
You want to see everybody win.
yeah, I'm pushing dirt, man. What I got to do with all this knowledge? I can't be hanging on to it. I
Right.
like to see young brothers like you and LT. You know, you guys are racking it up and doing your thing, and so you know that's to me 100. So, um, yeah, but like
Man,
before,
I ain't finished telling you about the story.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Uh, man, what? Oh, so I'm on the gurney. I'm at the CMP exam. It's about done, and um, we go to. They take me to the hospital. So I'm in the hospital. I mind you, I don't know what's happening right now.
Hmm.
I'm thinking this is because they're trying to check what the gabapentin is doing to me or whatever. So this is what I'm thinking the whole time.
Yeah.
Mind you, I have two puppies here. I had I let them out like 11 o'clock. So my appointment was like at noon. So I got done with my appointment. It was like 1 o'clock, something
Hmm.
like that, 1, 2 o'clock. After that, I'm at the hospital for like a few hours. But when I first get there, I don't know why I'm there. First thing I notice is weird. My door is wide open.
Hmm.
Like when they first bring me in, I get off the gurney, I go sit on the bed or whatever, and my door is wide open. Like they don't close the door or nothing. Next thing is like somebody's just kind of hovering in the room, and I'm like, all right, what am I doing in here? This is running through my head. Well, first thing was, all right, so I haven't had a nurse come in and check on me, no doctors come in, nobody said anything to me yet. So I guess one of the staff was there and I asked him like, hey, like why am I just sitting in here? And it was like, what's this room for? And it was like it's a PE or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said.
Hmm.
And so I guess that's for suicide watch.
Hmm.
And I'm like, and I'm sitting here like, okay, this is what I'm thinking in my head, like,
Hmm.
okay. And so I'm just being patient. I'm just waiting for a few more hours, and I'm starting to get agitated. I'm starting to get antsy because
Hmm.
I'm thinking about the puppies.
Hmm.
So I'm like looking around. I'm watching people go back and forth. I'm like, damn, nobody's coming to the room yet. What the fuck is going on? So I asked the dude, I was like, yo, why nobody showed up yet? Yo, I got like puppies at the house. I can't just leave my puppies just sitting at the crib. I'm thinking I'm supposed to be back home by now. Like, what's going on?
Hmm.
And like for like the third or fourth time, somebody said, don't worry, we're gonna get you the help you need. Remember I told you I recognize patterns.
Hmm.
So like this is like the third or fourth time somebody said, don't worry, we'll get you the help that you need.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's when something went off, like ding ding ding, something hey, they about to do something. And I was like, get somebody in here right now.
Hmm.
I was like, get somebody in here right now. Like I need to know what's going on.
Hmm.
And so all of a sudden, that's when people start coming in, checking my blood pressure and shit. And I'm just sitting there like, damn, that was quick. And then another 30 minutes go by. But before that, I asked the lady who's checking my blood pressure and stuff. I was like, what am I in here for again? And they're asking like to sign stuff, and I'm like, listen, I'm not signing anything that says that y'all are gonna make me do something I don't want to do.
Hmm.
I said this like 3 times.
Hmm.
And the lady was like, don't worry, this is just to say that you're gonna blah 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 and yada yada yada. And I'm saying, listen, ma'am, something is not right. I don't want to sign anything that's saying I'm giving you permission to do anything I don't want you to do. Don't convince me to sign something that I don't want to sign.
Hmm.
And she's like, "Don't worry about it." I look at her for about 5 seconds, and I can kind of sense it. Like this bitch don't give a fuck what I'm saying right now. Like,
Hmm.
and I'm just like, I'm taking a leap of faith here. Like I know I should just walk out of here and go home. Something is telling me to just walk out and go home.
Mhm.
Like don't sign this shit, just leave.
Is it VA hospital?
Nah, it's a regular
Mhm.
hospital.
Okay.
So I sign it. Lady leaves out, and I'm just like, you shouldn't have signed that shit, T. Like I'm saying this shit in my head.
Hmm.
So eventually the doctor comes in, asks me the same set of questions. Do you feel like hurting yourself or others, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. And I'm kind of like, yo, what are y'all doing? Like I said this several times already. Like I don't have any intentions on hurting myself or anybody else. What is going on?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm here because of side effects from gabapentin. That's what I'm thinking I'm here for.
Mm.
What's going on? Don't worry, we'll get you the help that you need. And I'm
Mm.
starting to like this at this point I'm really agitated. And now sheriffs and shit are starting to come in the room.
What?
Yeah. And I'm sitting here like I'm having a mental health issue and you bring a sheriff in here. Like your goal was not to de-escalate or to calm me down. It was to intimidate me.
Hmm.
And I don't take well to being intimidated.
Mhm.
He asked me, "What do you want?" I said, "I want for you to leave because I don't feel comfortable with a man with a gun in my hospital in my room.
Okay.
I don't feel comfortable with that. I need you out of my room. I need you to get out."
Hmm.
And like at that point, I'm like, now they done turned the wrong switch.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they done pressed the wrong button. Now I'm like, yo, I want out of here. Like whatever you about to do, I don't want it.
Hmm.
And next thing, I'm talking about not even 5 minutes later, another gurney comes in. And it's like six people in the room. I'm thinking I'm going to get blood tests and all this shit.
Hmm.
They put me on the gurney, strap me down, and put me in the back of an ambulance and take me 2 hours away. You from Louisiana, so you know where Alexandria is.
Oh yeah.
Central Louisiana,
Mhm. Yeah.
They take me to Alexandria, 2 hours away.
the mental health hospital in Alexandria.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
I flip the fuck out. Because when I'm getting on the gurney, I'm thinking they're taking me to another room. I'm thinking, they're doing preventative measures and, oh, he might be dangerous. I'm thinking they're taking me to another room. They
Yeah.
wheel me out and into an ambulance. I'm like, what the fuck? Where are we going?
Hmm.
I'm in the ambulance. We driving off. And my mind is still kind of like tripping out. And I'm telling them the whole time, like, I have puppies at home. I cannot leave my puppies. Like it's been several hours and I need to get home. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I got living creatures that I take care of. Don't like and they don't understand like this shit is bringing me back to my kid. You know what I'm saying? Like me not protecting my kid. Now all of a sudden this shit is coming back to me.
Hmm.
And everything in me is telling me like if you flip out, they're gonna shoot you. You know what I'm saying? Like this the only thing that's keeping me from tearing everybody apart around me is that if you flip out, they will shoot you.
Mm.
And that's the when I say that was the only thing stopping me, that was the only thing that stopped me.
No. What
And
happened? What was the end result of that? What happened?
I'm at the we in the ambulance
Hmm.
and I'm in the back and I ask her, this is when I find out we're going to Alexandria because before that, I'm like I said, I think we're going to another room or something.
Hmm.
In the back of the ambulance, I asked this woman, we driving, and I'm watching as we driving, I'm seeing the roads we driving down, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I asked her, where are we going?
Hmm.
And she said we going to Alexandria. I spat, I flip out. Like I wig out because I automatically I'm counting time as all this is happening.
Yeah.
So I'm watching time pass and I'm realizing like, okay, you're not going home today.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like this is starting to like make me extremely like nervous.
Exactly.
And I'm already like from this point on I'm in like survival mode. Like I'm thinking to myself like can like I've already watched how they've wrapped my wrists like like
Strapping you down, right?
I've already watched everything that they did
You're in
step
soft
by step.
cuffs.
I'm watching everything they did step by step, and I know how to get out of everything. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
All right. So
So
let me ask you
before,
this,
yeah,
Meg.
yeah,
I'm sorry to bump it because I want you to get us towards because I have a lot I want to
yeah,
convey to you
uh-huh,
um with dealing with that particular aspect. But
yeah,
I want to know at the end of the day what
uh-huh.
happened.
All right, so we get to Alexandria, and it's like 7, 8 o'clock. It's like 8 o'clock at night, like
Mhm.
8:30.
Mhm.
Um, they admit me in,
Okay.
and
Civilian hospital.
yeah, this is civilian
Okay.
mental health
Okay.
behavioral
Okay.
facility.
About Fort Polk.
hmm So that first night, I told them I was like, I'm not supposed to be here.
So
Like
they kept you overnight.
they kept me for 3 days.
Mm. Okay.
My
Question.
dogs were at home for 3 days. I had to live in that facility knowing that my puppies were in this house for 3 days by themselves.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
I was a wreck.
I
On the
bet.
second day, I flipped out. The second day, they called a doctor.
Hmm.
On the third, on the was it the third day? On the third day, the second day, he said I couldn't go home yet. He asked
Mm.
me the same series of questions
Okay.
and then said I couldn't go home.
All right. Let me
Uh-huh.
just get in on, and then I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
whenever you're involved in that particular situation, because for me,
Go
and
ahead, God. I'm here.
full disclosure, um, I turned myself in because I was at a point where I felt that I was going to do
Hurt
something that
yourself.
was out of my norm, you know.
Right.
And so the thing is always this: when you're talking with these people, you ask the who, what, when, where, how, and why. Why am I here? Why are you holding me here? Okay. We don't ever want to assume when it comes to,
Mm-hmm.
because if you tell somebody that you are going to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
by law, they can hold you to where they can get you to a point where you're not going to be that way. Because if you say that I'm gonna hurt myself or hurt somebody else and they let you go off into the winter wonderland
Mm-hmm.
and something happens, they are totally responsible for that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So when you rap to these people and then ask them, um, I've never felt this way before. Am I feeling this because of this medication that you have me on?
Mm-hmm.
And then if that is the case, what alternative is, because if you're not looking in a rational mind of how you can help get yourself out of a situation, then you're putting it into their hands to where they can prevent you from going into a worse situation. So it's like I cannot let you leave out of here with a 9 millimeter with a full clip, and you're telling me that you feel like you're going to hurt yourself. Then they're responsible for that. Okay. So um, all the questions should be, I believe, should be aimed at how you can get from under the situation. Never assume that they are aware or that never assume that, like you say, well, is it because of gabapentin? Don't assume that. Ask the questions and get pointed questions. The pointed questions is,
Hmm.
why am I here? Why am I having a police officer here? Why are you holding me when I don't want to be held? Now,
Right.
and you have to understand, if you tell somebody that you're going to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else,
Hmm.
you put the responsibilities in their hands,
Right.
right? So they got to
Hmm.
prevent that from being happening.
Yeah,
And
I
then,
totally understand that. Mhm.
and then the other thing is, you have animals at home, and they understand this. This is why we call them emotional support animals. If my animals are not being taken care of, it's emotionally hurting me. I need to
Man,
make
did
sure
it.
they're taken care of. Now, the other thing I want you to think about too is this. If you were taken to civilian hospitals, they're going to be sending bills to you.
Hmm.
All right. So we need you to get in contact with your veteran people, because there's paperwork that you need to fill out
Right.
that can avoid that
Being
always,
billed.
yeah, there's $2,000 taxi drives that they take. Okay. So you need to be very cognizant of that, because later on, when your bills need to be paid and your dogs need to be fed, and you're looking at a $5,000 taxi ride,
Hmm.
you need to make sure you're on top of that. Okay,
Right.
so the first thing I would say is, if you when you're back in your own domicile, is
Hmm.
contacting your VA and letting
Right.
them know this is what happened. Now, this is why I want you to pay attention to this as well. If when they're talking about, we're going to hold you because you're having a reaction from a medication that you were prescribed, you need to put that on record. Because of this particular medication, um, I was um, responding in this particular way, and it became
Hmm.
inconclusive, because it took me away from my life, and it made me feel like this. So
Right.
always, I'm gonna tell you this. Um, when I worked in law enforcement, we asked the 5 questions: who, what, when, where, how, and why. Okay, so who are
Six
you?
questions.
Oh, yeah, who are you? Why am I here? What is this medication doing to me? Um, what is going to be the outcome of this?
Hmm.
So stay focused. I know it's hard when you're stressing.
Right.
Stay focused.
Right.
I took myself into the emergency room, and I said, because um, this medication is making me feel like this. And they're like,
Right.
really? Why? We don't believe you. I said, well, take me off of it and let's find out. But you're not going to keep giving it to me. And so they had to understand, well, this medication is not working for him. So I'll give you like metformin. It's good for diabetics, but it didn't work
Hmm.
for me.
Hmm.
And I'm like yourself in the first LT, is that certain medications don't work for my body. So always, and I understand what you're saying, because my little support cat, I need to make sure I'm back here, making sure he gets his grub on,
Right.
that's my dude,
Right.
and so, so, when you're looking at that, um, put yourself as a responsible parent and go, okay, I need to find out what's going on with me that's preventing me from being home with them. And if this is medication, then I need to tell them everything was cool until I took this medication. I don't know what it is about this medication, but I can't rock with it. And so you're gonna definitely and what I would like for you to do is while you have this time now, um, get this paperwork from your VA and have that stuff ready to fill out because you don't want to be looking at bills and how you're going to take care of these bills.
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah,
I actually had that done. We took care of that. Um, actually the same day. It's interesting because they
great.
have like some service now. I forget the name of it. It's on some of that paperwork,
Hmm.
but they actually take care of all of that when you get admitted and
Great.
all
Yeah.
that stuff. So,
Actually,
so
who's
we
your
don't even have to worry
insurance?
about it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And so just understand though, whenever you're put in a situation and you're not fully understanding,
Right.
you have the right to ask,
Right.
why are you retaining me? Why is this police officer here? I need a full understanding. Because without that full understanding, look, I went to emergency room. I was pissed off to the highest of festivity.
Hmm.
And I came in there, and this young black girl, bless her beautiful heart, she comes up to me and she goes, "Here, you need to sign here and sign here." I said, "Well, what am I signing for?" "Oh, don't worry about it. You just need to sign." I said, "No, fuck all that. Why am I signing this?" Then the police officer came over and I said, "Well, look, in all due respect," I said, "Would you ever sign a piece of paper that you don't know what you're signing for?" He says, "No." I said, "Then I want somebody in here who's telling me what I am signing for and why am I signing for it." And the nurse came in, and my blood pressure, because they have me on the machine, it was going up. And I said, "You would be pissed off too." I said, "I came in here because of I'm being treated with disrespect, and I'm getting treated more with
Hmm.
disrespect. You need
Hmm.
to tell me why I am signing, what I'm signing for, and why are you holding me here?
Hmm.
I need to know that." And it is the medical facility to be upfront with you and tell you this is no freaking game because this stuff is costing money. And if you
Right.
want to sit here and piss off your time, no, I need to know the who, what, when. Oh, gee, for Jesus and now. That's hold on. I gotta give them my girl some love here. Oh, gee, this is my girl here. I love you, baby girl. It's always good to see you, girl. Where have you been? I've missed you so much. Thank you for
Hey, OG
stopping by,
Patrice.
beautiful. Yeah, give that girl some love. She's on point. But anytime you go to the hospital, always remember the basic questions that you need to ask. And so, what we have to do sometimes is step out of
Excuse
our
me.
emotions and feelings. Don't worry, brother. Emotions and feelings, and we have to get to the real. Why do you have me? And so they always tell you this in the subtexts of the VA hospital. If you are going to hurt yourself or hurt somebody else, it is our obligation to prevent that from happening. What that means holding you there at the facility. Now, if you can say, "Hey, it's because this goddamn medication you giving me is making me feel this way," then that's something that they need to address. You dig? And that's what you need to have, especially um, because now that the VA's racking up this dollar bill, they're going to have to say we have to recognize this is a problem or an issue. So you should be probably getting a change in medication, if not both, a change in medications and be sent be recommended to a psychiatric care doctor. Okay. And so that is probably, and that's gonna be something that's gonna probably, where you have to go and talk to because what's gonna happen is they're gonna have to change your medication. This is just my perspective, okay? I'm not
Hmm.
they change your medications,
Hmm.
and they're gonna have you see a professional
Hmm.
and talk to them about why do you feel this way. If it's just a medication, then they're going to probably give you another medications that's probably going to help you feel where you or put you where you need to be. I don't know your medical, and you keep that personal.
Hmm.
um, they're going to put you where you need to be. For me, that's what we have to rock through. um, my medications needs to be adjusted.
Hmm.
I came over here to my new place now, my new studio, and I was put on some stronger medications. And those medications, brother, I got up in the middle of the night. I couldn't make it from my bedroom to the bathroom. I'm crawling on the floor. And so we have to go back and I like you not, dog.
I
It's
know the feeling.
crazy. And so I had to talk to my doctors, and we have to go ahead and back it down,
Right.
And so yeah,
Like, hey, y'all think y'all overdid
yeah. Well,
it.
I told him, I said, you probably need to put me on this because my thing is I'm dealing with a lot of stress and I need to
Uh-huh.
get some sleep. And
Right.
so we talked, and my doctor's like, well, so do you think we need to pull her back? I said, yes, I think we do. And I said, that's on me. I said this, and this is where I thought it should be, but no, brother, I can't see me low crawling to the bathroom. That's not what's
Oh,
happening,
oh,
right?
I got something to tell you. Oh yeah.
Go
Oh
ahead, give it
yeah.
to me.
Man, hold up. The drugs that they give you in this place.
Mm.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's meant to catch up to you,
Oh my God.
and
Bruh, on day two, like I didn't like I slept day one because I just like that night, like I was just mentally exhausted from
oh, gee.
stressing
Mhm.
from the first night. So I just went to bed, and
Goodness.
whenever I fell asleep, I think I woke up like the next morning like 10:30. Like
Mhm, mhm,
everybody had eaten breakfast, and I didn't even like it was just crazy. But anyway, the next night I was like, look, I think I need something for sleep.
mhm,
And they recommended, and it was like, look, we're gonna give you these pills to help you calm down. And I don't know if the pills calmed me down or not, but
mhm.
by the time that time bedtime came, I was like, look, I want those pills because oh yeah, that's right. Earlier that evening, the doctor said I couldn't go home,
Uh,
so I flipped out.
oh,
That
yeah.
place that place is designed not to be torn up, and I tore shit up.
Nah.
So so
Okay.
that's yeah. So
All right.
that's how mad I was.
Mhm,
I politely walked out of the office where we were having a video conference. I
mhm.
didn't politely walk out. As soon as he said I couldn't go home, I got up. I got up and I walked out.
Yeah.
I got to that room and I started tearing shit up. Like
Okay.
I was pissed because I'm still like I said in the back of my mind, I'm still thinking about the puppies. So
Yeah.
so that night I was like, I need something. And they
Mhm.
were like, we're gonna give you these pills. I was like, no, you said you were gonna give me a shot. I said, y'all
Love
said y'all
you,
were gonna give me
OG.
a shot,
Mhm,
and and the lady, it was so
mhm.
funny. The lady was looking like you know how they drag these carts around with the computer on it. She's dragging this cart around,
She probably wanted to
and
whoop your ass.
right, this is what made the shit so funny.
Mhm.
I'm like, no, you said you were gonna give me that shot. She's looking
Oh,
down. She like, they got these cups of pills for everybody on a list.
she probably wanted you to
I s-
OD, yeah.
she looked up at like she didn't even miss a beat.
Mhm.
We locked eyes, like she didn't her neck didn't turn up, just her head, like her eyes lifted up at me. Like
Don't
her
don't
head
don't
was still down, but her eyes
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna
and
beat
she
your ass.
said, "You do not want that shot."
Mhm. Mm-mm. Let me
And I
say this
looked at her.
real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Remember, OG, don't you go nowhere, girl. You need to come up here. I haven't seen you in time gone, but if you're still here, baby girl, please, just come up here. I just want to see your face and say hello to you. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Magnum. Please
No,
continue.
it's all good. Come up here, Patrice, if you got time. Come on through. But yeah. So I'm like, all right. So I'm rewind a
Yeah.
little bit. So I go up to the lady at the cart, and I'm like, all right, y'all said y'all were gonna give me a shot for sleep tonight. And she, like I said, she ain't miss a beat. Like she's still looking down at the cart. All she does is look up her eyes, and she says, "You do not want that shot."
Yeah.
And we lock eyes for about 5 or 6 seconds.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I say, all
Yeah.
right.
I
And
would.
so she gives me these pills, and I
Mhm.
knock back the pills, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel anything until the next day.
Oh, yeah.
When I say I was a freaking zombie
Hmm.
the next day, I felt like my body and my existence were completely separate from one another. Like I was walking, but I was in I was above myself walking, like
Oh yeah,
wherever my perspective was, it was not in my body.
bruh.
And she told me, I was looking at her and I was like, she said, "See, I told you you did not want that shot." And I was
But
like,
your
"You are so
ass.
right. I believe you now.
Yeah.
I appreciate that because
Oh
that oh my God,
yeah.
oh."
Yeah, look, I'm gonna tell you, brother, because I took my medications a couple of days ago because I haven't been able to sleep for like the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided to say, I talked to my doctor. We bumped him down from 300 to 200,
Mm-hmm.
and and so with my cat, he keeps me on point with stuff. But yeah, my advice for you when you rock with this, and right now you're in the midst of it. So the thing is
Yeah.
especially since they kept you on lockdown for a few days, this is going to help actually get your percentage level, your percentage level up a little bit more. But I would tell you at the
Mhm.
same time with this, be cautious about when they send you these medications, because they send me, like I said, this is
Mm.
get over here. I got 8 bottles of these things here, and
There's like a
if people don't
brown
believe me,
aura going around that
it's
bottle.
all 4 of these guys, and I left the other ones in because I don't feel like pulling all that stuff out. But I have to be 100 with each and every one of you, and that's like
Mhm.
I say, what I'm going through. But I will tell you this: in the future, when you rock with these people here,
Mhm.
um always look for the answer to your question. So, why are you holding me here? But I
Mhm.
want you to know this: anytime that you say you're going to hurt yourself or anybody else, you put the legal rights in their hands
Mhm.
to
Take
hold you.
preventative measures.
Exactly. I like how you said it. And so the thing is, because I turned myself in, and I was like, look, and I was on lockdown for about 4 or 5 days, and this was maybe what 20, maybe 18 years ago.
Uh-huh.
But still, I remember it like it was yesterday. And
Right.
so
You
the
don't
thing
forget that
is,
stuff.
oh no, hell no. Once you get because my thing is, I didn't go out and commit no crime, but then I'm locked into this place. And the thing
Mhm.
is, I'm locked in there with some people who are probably pretty much on more stress mode than I am.
Mhm.
And so I don't want any more stress. And so the thing is, always remember this: is when you rock and roll with these guys
Hey,
here,
fellas, part of my interruption. I'm at the Hey Seattle Black Vet. I'm
LT.
drop your email in the chat. I'm gonna copy and paste it. I'm gonna email you my resume, and also I want you to call me. I want to talk to you about something offline if possible, please.
All right.
Drop your email in the chat, and I'll snapshot it, and then I'm gonna send you a
Right.
copy of my resume and stuff I'm doing and stuff like that. I just want to get your personal opinion about it, and also to the young man in this chat, I want to let you know, man, God bless you, man, and I thank God you got through whatever you're going through, man. Continue to go to the VA and get your mental health evaluated, man, but stay strong, brother. Just trust me.
Exactly.
Your story ain't that
Exactly.
much different than mine, bro. And
Mhm.
get to know me.
We rock. We rock. We all pretty much rock with pretty okay. Did you get me down there, my brother? I put it in. I think I showed it on the I think I put it in everybody. It's the Seattle Black Vet, VET at Gmail. And I'm hoping it shows up there. LT, please hit me up, brother. And what I will do is when you hit me up, I'm gonna kick you my phone number and we can wrap. And if it doesn't go through, let me see. I got you on it, LT. Oh, LT, much respect to your dad too, man, and tell him we got much love for him and much props for him, for his service and time and everything. So we
Right.
appreciate it, brother. And
Right.
hopefully you have it on there. And I wish you a good night, my brother. It's always a blessing to have you up here. And hopefully you got me there at the Seattle Black Vet at Gmail. I don't know, because a lot of people haven't been getting me on there for some reason. I don't know, but yeah, hit me up, and I'll come up. If I don't hear from you in a day, I'm gonna come up, and we're gonna go over into the private chat, and we'll get that done there, real quick. But yeah, Magnum, yeah, brother, because I was thinking about you, and right now, I would say this would put you in the category of probably raising your disability rating.
Mhm.
If you're at 10 or something, this might bring you to 20 to 30%. if not 50 or 60%. So I would say once you get all that paperwork back, and it shows that we need to readjust you because this is bringing you through some altercations that you should not be going through. And so,
Ooh-wee.
and because, like I always tell people, it's a mental thing. So, with the physical comes to the mental thing. And let me give a shout out to First Lieutenant Brian Turner. Thank you very much, my brother, for showing up. Much love to you and your wonderful father. Appreciate you, man. And OG Patrice, man, this girl, I know her back, Frank Gooden. So I haven't heard from Frank either, OG. So you got to let me know what's going on with you and him. I know I'm just like OG. I don't come up unless I really have to come up because YouTube can be stressful. And so the thing is, you have to manage your stress levels. And I would tell you this, my young brother Magnum, is that whenever you're talking to anybody and it puts you in that position, always ask, why am I here? What are you holding on to me for? Because that is your right to know that. And you have to get down to the nitty gritty on that one there. And yeah, and once you get the you already filling out the paperwork and everything. Pardon me, too much beer. Make sure that with that paperwork, that you're getting assigned to, because they're going to have to assign you to a psychiatric care health, and somebody's going to have to manage your medications. And so that means more intense work, and you got that going on with the VA. And so once you get that paperwork, well, actually, once you finish your visits, you can contact the DAV and you can give them access to your medical records.
That's only if you don't have a rep yet.
Oh yeah, you don't. Well, let me say from this here. With the DAV up here in Washington State, I call them and I go, "Hey, I need to talk to you about an issue that I'm having, what I'm going through." Then they go, "What's your Social Security, your last four?" I go, "Okay, this is what it is." And they have you have to give us permission to access your records. Yeah. And so they'll go look at the records. Now, the thing is, just like the LT and I was talking about earlier, you're not going to have everybody in your corner ready to fight for you. Let me tell you, I went to the VA and they thought I was play pimping with them. They thought I was playing with them. I'm like, no, are you serious with this? I've been putting up with this shit for years. Right. And then when they found out I had my records to back it up, then they go, okay, well, this is what we can probably do. So you and I are going to have to talk. I want you to, because I don't want to do this online here. And normally, and just because it's you and my, because I don't have a lot of people that are on my page and everything, which I, I'm not mad about it. I'm happy about it in a lot of extent because I don't do consultations, because I'm not. This is just my perspective, right? And when I tell you what I'm going through, you can chew up the meat and spit out the bones. And so the thing is, what I'm thinking, if I was you, and I don't want you to take, if I was you, me.
Right.
I'm like, I just came out of this goddamn psych ward. They helped me here for 3 days. And why was I here for 3 days? It's because of the medication that I think that they gave me that made me react this way. So, and I always say this, and kind of pisses me off, but I had to say this. The VA will pay you for shit that you are entitled to, but they don't pay you for pain and suffering. Right? Your dogs will never get back the 3 days of being suffering at the home. You will never get back those 3 days of stressing because your dogs were, But the thing is, they brung you through this, and you're still dealing with it. So what I want you to do is look at it seriously. And I'm not serious. You got to be up at night stressing about the bullshit.
I already am.
yeah, I hear you, brother. I hear you. And I'm gonna tell you, like I said, I'm turning 60 this year, and I'm still dealing with the shit. And as I'm trying to find my way to a better path of enlightenment and be happy. And
Right.
so, so the thing is, with that as well, um, what I would like for you to do. One thing I don't like to tell people is what they should do or what they need to do
Well, I'm
is
not one of those. I listen to counsel and advice. Like it's a recommendation and a perspective, like you said.
take accountability. Just like if you can write it down or you can record it down, you know, I'm up now and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep.
Yeah.
I can't sleep because I'm worried about this. I'm worried about that.
Right.
I'm for me, I mean, like I'm concerned about the next medication. And so, having a good rapport with your primary care doctor is going to be
Hmm.
a plus. And because I'm like you, my primary care doctor, love him to death. And he knows I don't like to take medications, but he's not one to put up with no bullshit either. So I'm like, okay, um, doc, um, and so like with my so now I'm on a every 3 months, my docs, unless it's something that's emergency, then I'm gonna go in. So I understand this. Um, when you get a hold of your and they should give you a psychiatric I don't a person who's going to be able to talk with you, and they're going to talk to you about their appeals. They're going to
Hmm.
be doing appeal management first, and they're going to do appeal management as far as can we get him calmed down or can we get him cool with just giving him this particular medication. So it is your job, because at the pharmacy they go, well, do you need us to go over this medication and how you should take it and what it is? And for me, I've been taking them for so freaking long. I'm like, well, no, I don't need it. But I go home and I Google it and I go, all right, because like you say, with this gabapentin, I know people who was like, dude, I take one of these things, and I'm bugging. I'm like, well, dude, I take 9 of those a day. And
Shoot.
yeah, and so I'm like, I take 9 a day. This is why they send me so many big ass bottles at one time, right?
When you sent me that bottle, all I could see was a brown aura around it.
Yeah, you see, it's right here,
You see
and
the
all
smoke
these.
coming off of it.
Oh, good lord! And but if I don't take them, neuropathy and arthritis. I'm
Hmm.
losing I told my doctor my trigger finger's all messed up. My pip slapping hand is all out of whack, and give him something to laugh about. But
Hmm.
the thing is, always look at that, and especially once they sign you a psychiatric care doctor or a person that's going to give you on pills to help get that frustration off of your back. I strongly suggest that um, you start looking at upping your percentage rating. And now understand this, like you say, the C&P exam is going to go over your prior shit. And so, when you go in, because I went in thinking that, we're going to talk about new shit. No, they're talking about your prior shit, because what happens is you leave them open to decrease. But if you're at 10%, they can't go no lower than that. So, and if you give, and then once you start getting to once you get the increase, I want you to rap to me. I want to talk to you about Vr&E.
Oh yeah,
All right.
definitely.
And but right now, your main objective is taking care of you and your way of living. And if these medications are impeding upon that, and they have to adjust them. And now you're going to be seeing a psychiatric evaluator. Um, yeah, start rapping to them about that. And, and just when they ask you,
Mhm.
hey, I was pissed off because nobody's telling me what the hell's going on. And I didn't appreciate that. Next thing I know, I had police. And next thing you guys just, and so when they had you strapped to the gurney, those are soft restraints, not handcuffs, hard restraints. They're going to get you down to soft restraints because they think you're going to hurt yourself. All right. So when you probably
Wait,
told them whatever you told them, and don't get into it right now because I
come,
don't know everybody in your
come
business.
here, Papa.
Now,
Mm.
whatever you told them, it made them feel that you're going to hurt yourself or somebody else. And
Yeah.
so, and when you deal with that, I understand because I'm gonna tell you, and I put my business out on Front Street. Um, I was a person back in the day. You start popping off with me, one of us is not coming out. I don't
Hmm.
give a fuck. We're not coming out. And so that type of mentality. Oh, that's a dude right there, huh?
Yeah,
All
this
right.
is Aura. This is the girl. The boy is still like
Oh,
that.
right on, right on, right on. And I gotta go kick it with my little cat over here. He's missing me like crazy. Right on. Yeah. And I want you to do this as well. If they hook you up with a psychiatric doctor or whatever, talk to them about, these are my babies and they're your emotional support babies, and you need paperwork for your emotional support babies. And they should be able to hook you up with that. Okay, yeah. She puts up with you, she lets you play with her. My cat, he's
Yeah,
like, nah, brother, I got it.
she's my best friend. She's my
There
little
you
baby
go.
girl.
There you go. And so that's what they need to know. And you tell them, when you talk to them and say, my number one concern was what the hell they're doing with me, and I cannot get home and take care of my babies. And and you let them know these little babies keep me grounded. My cat, I've never been a cat person. My best friend Patty J is a cat person, and she turned me into being a cat person with her and her little baby Aphrodite. We had to put her down, but my dude, he's my dude. And I'm like, man, I feel bad when I can't get home and make sure he's fed. So, get out of here, Steve and Tina. Well, let me give you some salutes. Thank you for rolling up in the spot. Appreciate
Hands up.
you. How are you guys doing? Tina and Steve, I hope you are doing wonderful. Thanks for coming and kicking with me. I'm talking with the Magnum. We had my LT Brian Turner up in here. And so if you guys are Steve and Tina, if you guys are veterans or active duty, just hit me up with what your rank is, because I always want to respect you for your rank. And if not, you're just here to kick it. I appreciate you. It's good being here. So we're talking real quick about this is my man, the Magnum, with his little baby girl up in his lap, and I just got emotional support pet, my cat, and his name is Ziggy. What's your baby's name?
Aura.
Aura. All right, right on. She's like a humble, and see my cat. She's like, you're gonna hold on to me for about maybe 15 seconds, and you got to get off of me.
Nah, this one
Steve and
loves to be
Tina.
rubbed. She loves to be rubbed.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
love it when Papa rubs. Say, I love
Right
it when
on.
Papa rub me.
Right
I love it.
on. We're doing wonderful, Steve and Tina. I hope you guys are doing well. Support. Well, hit the subscribe and like button, and because I'm not really, my thing is, and let Steve and Tina know, I'm just here to give information to veterans, active duty. Everybody's dealing with this, so we can get to the best of our living, and we need to understand what our benefits are, and not be overlooked, because we don't get this information given to us. And so, Steve and Tina, you are welcome always to come up here and give your 411 of what you've been dealing with, because teamwork makes the dream work. So we got to be down for helping each other. And what I give you here is 100% free. Anything that I'm dealing with, I want everybody else to not make mistakes that I have made. I want you to be well off and better well off. And like I say, I don't come up here all the time, and Magnum could tell you this too, because I think I was missing in action for like almost 2 or 3 months.
Hmm.
I was moving, and my thing is, I'll come up at short notice sometime, and and try to catch some of all of us. So this is Friday, so I know on the East Coast it's like way early in the morning. And OG Patrice, I thank you so much, beautiful. It's always good to see you, all you guys, I'll give everybody shouts out and love, because I appreciate you. And my man Magnum, he's been rocking with me. And Magnum, when you get the increase,
Hmm.
I want you to start looking, and if you get the increase, and I know you will,
Hmm.
The V&RE. Okay. I want it's a chapter 31, and it's going to be near where you are, wherever a VA facility is. And the chapter 31, especially because you're into music, you can get into audio engineering. They will pay for your books, get you a brand new Mac computer. And if you find a place that's in your area that you want to do audio engineering and rock with that,
Hmm.
you make sure you hit me because I'm going to audio engineering and sound engineering. It's a big umbrella. But I'm going to sound engineering. I'm going to be uh, working on my DAW and getting
Hmm.
that more off the ground. And I because I know
Hmm.
you were into doing music and everything. So yeah, I want to get you promoted towards doing that. But I want you to stay focused, one step at a time, and understand. Okay, everything else from here on now, you have to look at it tactically, it's handling it, and that's getting all the information that you need to have about
Right.
what you're dealing with. And like I say, because when they give me all these pills, uh, they come with a everything that tells you the side effects, whatever. I don't really read it all, but they are mandatory to bring that, put that in with your prescription.
Hmm.
You can always go online and look at it and see what it does for you. And yeah, just look at that. And so for here out, it's like they sent you into a tailspin, and now you're trying to get back grounded. And now because they have the best probably intentions. Well, I would say they have the best intentions, but medication affects us all differently.
Hmm.
Situations are the same way, and I'm glad you're on top of the paperwork to make sure that you don't have to worry about that financial burden. And that's really cool too, because keep every copy of everything. When you discharge out of the hospital, when they let you finally go home, um, you have a copy of that,
Hmm.
go over it, read it, and go, really? And they will probably say you had because but you want them to actually say this too, because look at your little girl. She's uh, but you want them actually to say, because he was experiencing a reaction from this particular medication. And especially if they prescribe that medication to you, and it's not to say that they did it intentionally, they probably were
Right.
looking out for the best. But just like when they gave me metformin, my doctor's a really super cool guy. Um, I trust him with my life. And I have no reserves about that. But when he says, "Well, Dave, we gave it the best try because what they're going to do is try the least lethal thing or anything that's going to hurt you, and then they're going to see, well, where do we need to go from there?"
Right.
And when you talk to your doctors, well, you say, well, and I'm gonna leave this on you, so you don't have to answer this. They gave you gabapentin for a reason, and so whatever reason that was, it's not working for you. So,
Right.
what is the alternative from that? Because express to them, I don't ever want to be in that space again.
Right.
You know,
I
I
told
don't,
him that.
yeah, I
Ugh.
don't want, because um when it's you trying, um and I would tell you, I confronted a doctor and I said, well, look, I'm only talking to you because I was told this is the best route that I need to do, and
Mhm.
I'm not trying to go in this area. And when they understand that you're not trying to go into that area, it's their job to help you stay away from that area. So
Right.
rock with it. Brother Magnum, I got to get out of here because I have not ate at all. I ate like 3 slices of pizza today.
Oh
And
man, you
yeah.
gotta eat. Go eat, man. Go eat. I gotta watch this dog before she mess around and pee in there because they still puppies. So
Oh, your babies. Like,
yeah, and I brought her in here just so you could see her.
oh,
But
beautiful
yeah,
girl.
and the
Beautiful
and the
girl.
boy is in there like he's gonna pee because he's not getting that. Like he expects once she goes out to go out right after her,
Yeah,
and I'm about to get her out and then get him out. So I really appreciate you having me on and let me
brother.
let you know what I went through and you giving me some insight on it. I really appreciate it.
You know I ain't got nothing but love for you, my brother. If I don't see you, because I know I've been missing an accent, but if I don't see you after a while, I'm putting out the APB on you. So all points bulletin.
I'll be here.
People. Okay, I want to thank everybody. I love you very much, especially Lieutenant Brian Turner and my first Magnum, OG Patrice, my girl, come on, Patty J. I love you guys, and I really wish that and I hope the best. And Magnum. You see my email. If you don't hit me up here, you can always catch me, and you're my number one dude. So I always got to look out for you. All right, my brother. Much love to you, and you have a wonderful night. Thanks for showing me your baby girl. Now you make me missing my boy. I got to go over and give him some love. Right. All right, first Magnum. I love you, my brother.
Love y'all, bro.
I am the Seattle Black Veteran. I'm David. I wish you guys nothing but the best. I love you each and all, and thank you for all your love and support. Take care, Brother Mac. Appreciate you. Talk to you later.